side. If the sun comes out, Jared, that's when the temps really come up. This is ideal conditions for us. There's not too much roost as we saw last night. Bakkerud expect him to go in the Joker. Yesterday the delta was 14.5. Again, we don't really know what it would be right now, but a second lead for Ollie Bennett at this point.
All right, so who's going to miss that final four? You know, whoever loses here goes to the consolation battle. So basically the fast four versus the kind of the slower five. Let's just call it what it is.
Worth noting, Jared, without that chicane coming onto the front straight, the approach speed to the jump is a lot higher than it was. So they're having to check up more. You saw Bennett there, didn't case it. He rolled the knuckle of the jump. Bakkerud comes out of the Joker now. He's onto the big jump. Look at the crowd. Most people in already. Bennett sliding it wide on the back straight.
There you can see 16-second gap. And as you said, this is where we're going to find out truly where our delta is as Ollie Bennett goes in to that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. You say the sun is not out, but the guns are definitely out as we kick things off here at Nitro Rallycross.
And that chicane's gone as well, Jared. So I reckon it's going to be probably a good couple of seconds different than it was yesterday.
Ollie flying out of that exit.
Yeah, Bennett's pushing hard here. Bakkerud, though, tidy through. Watch for that inside line. Whereabouts is Ollie Bennett? Bennett's coming around to the final corner. Look how
fast they're coming around that bank today.
Bakkerud going to come into the merge high speed, but Bennett's going to take this. Ollie Bennett takes the first battle of the day, and Andreas Bakkerud is out.
Look at that. Andreas Bakkerud, a fierce competitor in the championship overall, gets taken out by Ollie Bennett. Love the racing.
What was the split? Was it 16? Because it was 1.5 when they crossed the line.
It was 16-4.
Fucking I best be ready for it.
Go on, Ollie.
All right. This is a family show, Ollie. Come on.
Keep it calm, Ollie. We'll tell him off when he comes in here.
Yeah, well, he lived up to his sponsor's name, Excite.
Who's the milk?
At least you know it's live.
Yeah, all right, let's take a look at the highlights. You know, on paper, Andreas Bakkerud was the guy to get this, but Ollie Bennett just found that speed right out of the gate, that push to pass. We saw that come into play yesterday. Look at that, he was even on the lower line.
Watch Bakkerud here, Jared. To flat, pretty much. Front wheels are to flat. That's a big old hit on your back. He's pretty smooth through the chicane there, but Bakkerud, despite the high exit speed, here's the merge look. He wasn't close enough, and it is Ollie Bennett who goes through to the quarter-finals.
Hey guys, I'm Andreas Bakkerud. I'm here to take you through the track here in Calgary, back on ice and snow. First time we race on this track with our 1000 horsepower fully electric Nitro Rallycross FC1X cars. You'll be joining me with the Insta360 all around the track. Out from the box we have the zero lap. Basically the run down to turn one, the long left-hander coming over that little bump there, straighten up the car, and just before we hit the jump there's the start line. The timing starts from there. You try to angle the car correctly over the jump. It's a huge jump, you get a lot of air, you land, you pitch the handbrake, rotate the car, you go more into the infield of the circuit, which is some bank corner in here, lots of rotation again, and then you flick it over to the left, out on the main straight again. The Joker lap is to the right there. We get into a tight chicane, which opens to a long left-hander. You carry all the speed here. It's the fastest point of the track. You make a big rotation. Alright, so thank you guys for watching a lap with me. This track is brand new. It's going to be super challenging with the weather. It's a very, very quick track. I'm pumped to see what it's going to turn out to, and I think there's going to be loads of action this weekend, so stay tuned.
And here we are with the quarterfinals. Well, we're not racing bikes right there, but that looks like a darn good time, man.
It does, man.
Is that you and me? That was you and me earlier.
Yeah, it was this morning. We did 100 kilometers.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that.
Man, I feel great, dude. It's such a, it's the best way to start a day. All right, all joking aside, let's take a look at the ladder. You can see Andreas Bakkerud knocked out early in Heat 1. So we have the Grade 8 shaped up here. We got Meeke versus Bennett, McConnell versus Pastrana, the Erickson bros going at it again, and then you got Martell versus Larson in that final heat. All right, so again, the Nitro Rallycross A-Shock road to the finish line. Who's going to come out on top? And in addition to this, we'll have the Fast Four final, and then we'll have the bottom 5.
Yeah,
so basically that'll shape it up.
The Super Final and the Super Fives is what we're calling it this weekend here for the Nitro Rallycross Stampede at Calgary. All British fair again here. Bennett versus Meeke.
Okay. Who are you pulling for?
I can't say.
Because Meeke is a bit Irish. He's
Northern Irish, yeah.
He's got the Union
Irish
Jack on the side, but
so that's correct for Northern Ireland. So it is, yeah. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So but he'll be celebrating St Patrick's Day with us, I'm sure, in as we all will at Glen Helen at the end of the season. And then obviously, I went and saw Brian Bennett, Ollie's dad, a minute ago. And I was like, "Do you get nervous?" He goes, "No, not really." He goes, "Well, for the cars."
Yeah.
Which I understand.
Yeah, rightfully
especially
so.
up the Three Rivers.
And let it be noted, the track from yesterday to today has been transformed. We only have one chicane with 3 of those hay bollards, right? But the big fast bank going into that final turn is absolutely insane flying. I was talking to Ollie Bennett just a bit ago. He says, dude, it is so fast. It's so fun. The track from yesterday to today, very different. It's faster. It's icier. And we've only seen a few tires shredding it up with those 300 spikes wrapped around those Yokohamas.
Yeah, we haven't. Yes, look at the dude on the phone with the beer already.
He's hyped.
He's hyped.
Let's go. Let's get it, kids. All excite, focus energy here in this battle. Here we go, Ollie Bennett and Chris Meeke, all excite, all Union Jack, but only one can win and advance on to go against either Fraser McConnell or TP Travis Pastrana. So the way the brackets work, if you make it to the semi-finals, you're in that super final. So the top 4 are going straight to the semi. So whoever wins this will be in the super final, and whoever loses, and that's the case for all the quarterfinals, is going to be in that super 5. There will be the 2 races we see at the end of the day. Bennett on the handbrake, pulls back. If you're looking down at the dash to try and get the percentage just right. Eyes up to the lights now. Meeke alongside him is on the inside line. Meeke gets a good start. Bennett with a lot of wheel spin on the outside line. Chris Meeke's got that done straight away, Jared. Yeah, Chris Meeke, you saw the traction. Bennett looked like he was spinning them just a bit too much, going through the 3 bollards. Now again, we've removed the other chicane. Watch how fast they are ripping through this bank. It's great, isn't it? Look at the little crest there as well. They're coming through, a second jump up. Now they have to check up more in front of this great crowd at Calgary. Butters the jump for Meeke and Bennett as well. That's tied in by both. Then back on the throttle, jump on the brake, a little bit of handbrake into turn 1. Look at Meeke running it up the wall. We saw Casper Janssen do that yesterday in NRX Next. Great accuracy. Really well done by both the drivers. Look at him ripping through. Now who's going to take the Joker? I would have to assume Ollie's going to take it first. Meeke's going to try to gain some ground. Talking about the delta, how big is it? We need to take note of that. It's about, I mean, it was 18 yesterday. It's been minimized. Yeah, so in the end, we reckon 14.5, didn't we, when they put the chicanes in. Then they've taken one chicane out. But at the minute, it's still 14.5. And that, Jared, is what you said a minute ago. The track's frozen. Although this is daytime running, the sun hasn't come out today. Yesterday, the sun was out all day. The track was quite slushy when we started the evening, and then it froze up. Now it's frozen from all overnight, and we reckon the Joker's a little bit quicker, but expect it to change all afternoon. Meeke just so fast through the blazing of the ice. Ooh, a little choppy there. You can see the hop of the car. Look, that back right just absolutely dipping. Does he have a compression on that suspension? There was a bit of chatter, wasn't there, as he came through. Goes into I think that back right suspension. I wonder if he's got, I don't know whether he's, well, see, it's got some dip on it? Yeah, I'm trying to see. Because every angle's not showing that right side. It looks like it's sitting down, doesn't it, on the right rear? Might see it here, definitely. So problem for Chris Meeke, the right rear suspension has collapsed, or potentially he's had a tyre off. It looks like suspension to me. If he can hold on to this, 18.7 was the gap. Meeke going to come out into the merge now. Where's Ollie Bennett? Ollie coming around the outside. I think Meeke's going to get this. And he does. Chris Meeke wins. Look at that back left, squatting like a lowrider. Yeah. What's that? The suspension just collapsed. Yeah, the tyre's up. Yeah, suspension's gone. Wow, Chris Meeke. He's rally driver, awesome, isn't it? Yeah, that's stage rally driver. You know, he was digging in. I mean, shoot, outside of the jump, you really don't need that travel, so that thing's just digging in. We're just getting some feedback from the team that it was over the jump. Okay. And And that's the first, I mean, to be honest, with the debut of this car in UK, right, at Lydden Hill, you said how many years? 56 years.
56 years
yesterday.
56 years old yesterday.
We were... Take a look. Was this it? Look at this. And airs it out. That back right. Oh,
yeah,
you see. Oh, man.
Look at the compression on that, and it's gone straight away.
Yeah, just compress it. You know, but I've told a lot of people at UK, the debut of these cars, they never really slammed into each other. But at Lydden Hill, it happened, and we're like, sweet. Everything came up, double thumbs up. And that's really the first time I've seen the suspension just be compressed to that degree to call what it is, fail.
We said, didn't we, that we said that the jump here is much bigger. Without that chicane coming onto the front straight, for people who weren't seeing this yesterday, there was a chicane onto the front straight, so you've got to check up. You need to go down the landing. If you land to flat, you get huge compression on the car. Look at that, right up. Team will get that fixed. They're going to be parked right behind us, so we might actually be able to take a look at them wrenching on Chris's car, which would be fantastic.
So all this means is Chris Meeke, he's in that Fast 4, he's in the Super 4, right? And then, unfortunately, Ollie Bennett will be going to
Super 5s.
There you go.
So looking forward to seeing how that goes. Right, here we go.
Moving right along here, and we are seeing our next battle, and that'll be Fraser McConnell versus Travis Pastrana. Notably yesterday, Fraser McConnell, and let's just call it what it is, in Montreal, our TQ. So 3 TQs overall in the season, as Katie said on the top of the show, and back-to-back TQ. So can he make it 4? Can he make it, 3 in a row?
For everybody to understand how this has worked, they took yesterday's qualifying positions to put them into their timed practice session this morning. So I think Fraz would have gone out first in that, as he was P1 yesterday. They went out and they did their timed laps, and that's what's put them into the battle brackets where they are. So yeah, Pastrana versus McConnell should be interesting.
Our Yokohama gal out there with our 32nd car. There are the stats. You can see, obviously, TP needs no introduction. Travis Pastrana 199. And I'll call it like it is. Fraser McConnell needs no introduction. If you've been watching this DRR driver, A-Shock from Jamaica here in Calgary, where notably the Cool Runnings history was made from that Jamaican bobsled team. And if you haven't noticed, he is definitely from Jamaica. He and his family and his fans fly that Jamaican flag high. But the Stars and Stripes cannot be denied, or will it?
3 times top qualifier, Fraser McConnell. He's the most successful driver in this format of qualifying. Gets too much wheel spin off the line though. Travis Pastrana gets him around the outside immediately. So Fraz is going to have his work cut out now, assuming he can't find a way through on lap 1. He's not allowed to joker on this lap. He'll go on lap 2, Jared. He needs to be as close behind Travis as he can and see if he can get the overlap in that joker lap.
I feel like Travis has something to prove. He didn't have the best success in Montreal, going over that hip on the bank. Let's see how they handle that jump, as we were talking about. Now they're gaining more speed. Very different from yesterday, and Fraz almost goes off to the side.
Yeah, comes in late, doesn't he? Knew he could make up some time on Travis on the brakes. He's now right underneath the rear left corner of the 199. Pastrana sweeps into the right-hander. McConnell's dropped back just a few meters, 5/10. He says looks like a bit more than that now. He needed to be closer as they go into the joker, so he'll go this time round. Rear view from Pastrana, looking underneath the massive rear wing of the FC1X, and you'll see McConnell dive off to the right-hand side.
And here goes Travis. Oh, look at Pastrana goes for the joker lap. An interesting strategy. Usually, so he might have dummied him a little bit there.
Definitely.
But he says, boom, there you go, I'm out of here. And notably, Travis Pastrana running the iconic livery of a great friend of the automotive world, Ken Block. KB forever. He ran that on his first championship in stage rally as Fraser McConnell goes all over. And you can see KB forever on all of the vehicles here at Nitro Rallycross.
I'll tell you when that might have worked even better, Jared, is if Fraz was right behind him. Because remember, the car in front rarely goes joker. So you check them up because they're having to wait for you to turn right, and you'd be losing time when they go in. In fact, Fraz was far enough back, so if he can nail a good lap now, 14.3, he's within striking distance here of Pastrana. Fraser into the joker.
All right, so Fraser McConnell, the A-Shock DRR dry Reinbold vehicle going in, and they're going to say he's going to retain first. So they're saying the delta there, 4.6. Fraser McConnell is going to hold on to the lead.
So a little bit of information for you. Some of the teams are saying that crossover point, if the cars are equal in the crossover as they go underneath, it's going to be very close indeed. Inside line, Fraser McConnell trying to lay the power down. Travis Pastrana coming around the outside. Watch for the merger in the Jamaican on the inside. Pastrana nicks in at the line, and the crowd go mad for that one. What a finish.
Look at the fist bump with Travis. He's like, what did I do? What happened? And yeah, we're here over in the paddock area, and that was absolutely...
on me, man. I know the snow's been kicking our butts, but we got to get this Ken Block livery on top.
Oh, yes, Travis.
There it is.
Yes, Travis. And how rad does the livery look in the snow
amazing
as well, Jared? It's a proper snow camo livery. Ken's first wild rally car livery, and everyone thought it was so cool at the time. and great. Yes, go on, Travis, get the crowd hyped up. Look at that. Look in the background.
Yeah, signature thumbs up, and the crowd absolutely erupts, celebrating not only Travis, but of course Ken Block, near and dear to our hearts in the rally world. And again, the 43 number is retired in Nitro Rallycross. Even FIA has retired it in Stage Rally. An absolute respectful gentleman thing to do.
Unless Leah or one of the kids want to, which is awesome.
Exactly.
I'd love to see that.
Micah, or Kira.
Yeah, and that's up to them. You know, there's no pressure for them to follow on Dad's footsteps. And if they want to, we'll all be there supporting them for it. So, and if the 43 comes back, I'll be stoked on it. Fraser McConnell, look at that. Took a risk over the jump. One of the few places on this track you can take a risk, but look what happened to Chris Meeke when he jumped long. It's not guaranteed. Pastrana with the Joker from the lead. Fraser won't have been expecting that. And Jared, he might have braked on the straight early, thinking he was going Joker, and lost a bit of time there, but it was super close between them.
Look at that. That was tight. Just like Meeke and Martell, the other Vermont sports car yesterday. Amazing showing. Travis Pastrana, he's going in the fast Super 4. That was awesome. And just, you know, the fans, they're, you know, some are really educated on rally. You've had a lot of fans come up to you, Coley, and just obviously your background, and you've been up here to Canada, and just the fans are well educated.
Mate, it's been so nice to see these people that have been coming over, you know, and just saying how much fans they are of the sport and everything. Katie Osborne, where are you at?
Yeah, with Connor Martell, man, here was a little bit of a rooting and hollering over here for Travis Pastrana, but hey, it's not all about racing, this whole Nitro Rallycross thing. It's also about the adventure that surrounds these events. You and Robin Larson went on a heck of an adventure around Calgary and the surrounding areas, but first, something happened in a helicopter. Break it down.
Yeah, so we Tourism Calgary took us on such an awesome adventure for about 3 days. We did helicopter rides, dog sledding, ice skating on Lake Louise, and it was absolutely incredible. They treated us to such a fun time, and it's stuff I'd never do unless I was here. And even if we were here, it's things you probably wouldn't think of doing. So big shout out to Tourism Calgary for helping us out with that. And yeah, time to go win a race.
Here's the thing, though. You talk about some dog sledding and what that was really side by side with Robin Larson. Nothing like pairing up with him here at the track, but really doing that experience and that adventure too. What was that really like? As a United States, we don't get that every day.
Yeah, no, it was really cool, and it was negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was super cold. So I feel like I got the true experience of dog sledding. And then hanging out with Robin was really cool because me and Robin don't really know each other well. So, you know, I think I was a little bit better than him at the dog sledding. So let's see if I can do that out here.
Lastly, that skating, the experience out there on the lake. Man, you're from Vermont. You got a little bit of lake skiing under your belt. What was that experience?
That was super fun. I grew up playing hockey, and so it was really cool to get back out there, especially in that place, and be able to skate. And Robin used to play hockey when he was younger too, so we rented some sticks and some pucks and went shooting. Robin lost the puck on like the 4th shot in the snowbank, so yeah.
Okay, if that's it.
Give him some trouble for that.
Yeah, you got that, Connor. I got you, Robin, for that one. Thank you so much for sharing those experiences. Guys, that's what this is all about, really, is the adventure, not just on track, but off track as well.
Thank you so much, Katie, and some great A-Shock Energy, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation. Yokohama Tire, make every drive a performance. My Energy, driving the charge to a sustainable future.
See the track crews out there dragging around big sort of beds of tyres on chains. We wanted to get, well, we didn't really want to get a ride this morning. We wanted to put
we want to throw Tommy
on
it. Tommy's the crash test dummy.
Activity,
yeah.
You mentioned
Street Tire Tommy. Just throw him in there.
Yeah, get him on there. You mentioned the fans, Jared. So good. We got a chap up to our right who's bought a Scottish flag and then wants to meet Chris Meeke. Of course, Chris's mentor was Colin McRae's, Scott, who lives over here. Bunch of it. Oh, yes, that did drop his beers. What was that?
No,
Tommy. It's Tommy. What's he doing?
It's Tommy and Micah.
Is he pouring out the cash? I mean, oh yeah, Micah on the right.
Nitro Rallycross wristbands. They're giving out merch out there.
Fantastic.
That's our boy Micah Diaz. He's joined us here this weekend. He announces the Nitro Circus shows.
He does.
And he lives in Milwaukee. Great dude.
He's a legend. He's a Nitro legend.
Yeah, he's
been
hilarious.
around for a long time.
Yeah, our man Jimmy Coleman. We have a great crew that's doing a lot of the live event production, the LEP. So they're having a great time. And again, sold out. You might see a few seats available, but I think they're just grabbing a beer.
Look at the Jamaican flags. They're basically, the McConnells are so good at going, we're going to hand out stuff. Oh, look, it's got a Jamaican flag on it.
Thumbs
got
a hot dog.
Poutine.
Yeah.
Volkswagen hat on there. Look, yeah, we need to get them involved at some point.
All right, the action continues here in a little bit. This is some action of the day so far. Bakkerud and Bennett. That chicane, I like the removal of the chicane on the bank.
So do I.
They are ripping. But from yesterday to today, they're carrying a lot more speed into that big hit.
Yeah, and it's about how you check out, JC. Bakkerud jumped to flat as well. I say you can go longer, or you can certainly go later on the brake times. It's easier whenever you come into a corner or any braking zone. The car in front can always be used as a judge for the braking. If you think you can go later, you can, and you can close up like we saw Fraser do when he went off the left-hand side. But yeah, great stuff so far. Bakkerud's gone out, Meeke has gone through.
Nice little layout there. You can see the Calgary Stampede. Normally, as we say, bulls, cowboys, cowgirls, horses, bucking broncos. And we have the horsepower, not so much the horses. And the longest joker we're going to see of this season, because guess what? The championship is ending at Glen Helen for a double header. So you can see this long joker. It was 18 seconds down to 14. Regardless, it's going underground. I mean, we've seen the under and over, but a joker like this, Chris Meeke joins us here over in the commentary booth. And Chris, the longest joker we've seen so far, do you like it, love it, hate it, or you just have to deal with it?
I think you just have to deal with it, It's part of the game. So
yeah. Hold on one second. We got an update with Katie. Katie, what do you got?
Guys, one of the things that Travis Pastrana, who just came in, we all saw that crowd go wild. It was though he won the entire event. I was asking him about his thoughts with Connor Martell, and he said that guy is so quick. He was topping some of the charts earlier, had maybe finished about third in practice today. But one thing to keep in mind about Connor is he's a rookie, and this is all new to him. And remember, what that means is it's a little inconsistent for him. So if he has the speed and he can pull it all together with 1, 2, 3 complete laps, he's one guy to watch for here today, and he is going up against Robin Larson, which we know what's at stake with Robin.
All right, thank you so much, Katie. So,
Chris,
some great insight. So, Meeke, again, joker lap, the longest we've seen all season, and obviously going to Glen Helen once again. This will be the longest. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, to be honest, as drivers, we just have to drive. It's simple. But for the spotters, it complicates it a bit more. To have that delta of 16, 17 seconds, not knowing the grip in the joker, the grip changes in the morning because we don't drive on it so often. So, yeah, it's a big challenge for the spotters. For me, I just have to drive it. It doesn't matter the length of it.
We spoke about this morning, Jared. I like it. So when you've got one corner in a joker, the thing about a joker lap, which a lot of drivers struggle with, not so much the rally drivers because they're used to 1,000 corners once, compared to 10 corners 1,000 times, which is the racing thing. So, yeah, basically, the longer and tougher the joker, the more likely it is that there's going to be a little mistake.
This is all thriller, no filler here. Meeke on the, like you said, one turn 1,000 times here. You got to condense. It's a concentrated cup of tea here. So it's an all Erickson battle. This is a sibling rivalry. Kevin got the best of Ollie yesterday. Who's going to get it today?
So these two, very familiar with these machines. Kevin's looked so relaxed and focused. The only person who was able to beat him yesterday was Fraser McConnell, who took the top qualifier. He's on the inside line again where he was yesterday, but Ollie Erickson gets the better start around the outside. Kevin, though, finds him with a traction. Ollie now looks to me like he's on push to pass, but he ducks in behind. There's no way these two are going to take each other out, so Kevin Erickson leads from Ollie. Ollie will try and get right underneath that rear wing and be as close as he can when they're going. Chris, we've noticed there's a big crest dip in the middle of the corner now. What's changed there from yesterday?
Yeah, that's a speed bump there, which we didn't really see before because that's exactly where the chicane was. We never really felt the bump. But now at high speed, you're approaching that corner and the exit. It definitely, you have to alter your course mid-corner to anticipate that jump.
yesterday we were talking before the race, you, Travis, and I, and you're saying, take that chicane out. Come on, guys, let's do this. We don't need no stinking chicanes. You're like, let's go for it. But again, if you haven't seen it, pull up some rally footage of Chris Meeke. This guy's an absolute psycho. So I mean, the things he does behind the wheel at stage rally. We provide you the helmet. You got to bring your own diaper because you might just wet or soil yourself.
You got to go take a look. I can recommend the Mark II Escort on the Colin McRae stages. That was quite a good one. And I think also a Super 1600 car over, is it Molescap? There might be one. Or
Renault Clio Super 1600.
There's a couple of my favourites. Yeah,
back to that chicane. I don't like artificial things that slow you down. We need the track design where you can high speed commitment. It needs to reward the driver that's most committed.
Onto that straight now then. This is a repeat of yesterday's race, as we said earlier on. A little bit wide there. So maybe losing a bit of time, Ollie Erickson. 17.1 seconds. Remember, we think the delta's around 14.5, and if they're directly over the top of each other as they come into and out of that Joker lap, watch for the shot when he goes into the tunnel and you'll see. If they're directly over the top of each other, it's very close. Otherwise, the car that's in front is likely to get it. Taps the bail. Okay, Chris, what's your thoughts on that then?
Yeah, that's fine. Let it go. That's 100%. He's risking damaging his right rear wheel on that, So for me, if you touch a bail, it shouldn't be a problem.
Easy win then for Kevin Erickson. Does the same job as he did yesterday. We saw Ollie around a little bit wide in the corner after the jump. I wouldn't say that was where all the time was lost, but Kevin Erickson will go through to the Super Final. Ollie Erickson we will see in the Super 5.
Yeah, Ollie just not as tight as Kevin Erickson has been this weekend. Keep in mind, Ollie Erickson won at Trois Rivières in Montreal just a few weeks ago, but just not coming together for him here this weekend. But Kevin Erickson, he's focused, and we talked about that. Coming into the new year, his baby, 6-month-old, he just has a new focus. His race number is 23, and 2023 is going to be his year, he says.
Good start on the outside, and I thought maybe that Ollie was going to be able to get him, but these two, look at that.
I thought Kevin was going to overjump that. I overjumped it in my heat and actually damaged the rear damper. So
you don't say. We saw it. Look, we have the best view in the house. No offense.
No problem. I thought I got away with it, nobody noticing, but
it was. We know actually. Jared noticed when you came onto the straight. Actually, and the car was all over the road. So, but yeah, you still won, mate.
Well, congratulations to Kevin Erickson. He goes on to the Super 4, joining that of Meeke and Pastrana. The final contender, who's it going to be, Connor Martell or Robin Larson? The fans finding some grub, and they're loving this weather. Again, not the most ideal for the track conditions. We actually want it colder to get that frozen ice and get some traction here, and you're seeing how the track is being chewed up. It's going to transform throughout the day. So, and again, we'll have you home by dinner time. Local time, we'll have you again home by happy hour. Let's just call it what it is. Robin Larson there pulling up to the line, with this being the Nitro Rallycross Stampede, the championship not up for grabs here just yet. It's going to come down to Glen Helen, that double header. That's where push comes to shove, and Larson leads the pack in the championship.
Yeah, I think there'd be mixed emotions for him there, Jared, because if he'd had a good result here, as you see Connor Martell get himself fired up. If Larson had a good result here, he'd go to Glen Helen in not super chill mode, but probably could have got it done on the qualifying day of the first event with the bonus points that were up for grabs there. On the other hand, a lot can go wrong in a race weekend. A tricky ice track, it's pretty narrow in places. He can chill, really just enjoy putting on a good show for the crowd. I say chill, all these guys want to win, Chris. There's no chill, is there, really?
Honestly, for the championship contenders that are up there in the hunt, I suspect they're back 5% minimum. But if they see a gap, they're going to go for it. But certainly they're not going to risk all. We want to arrive to Glen Helen with clean cars, not too much damage.
You can get stuck in there,
Well, I'm getting the sleeves rolled up. That's why I'm here for it.
Yeah, so again, championship comes down to that. Connor Martell, Travis saying, hey, if he finds that sweet spot, but he is, again, going against our championship leader, so that is a big-time competitor there. Also, keep in mind, Connor Martell, if you want a rally race, Connor's got a sweet promotion. Actually ends on Tuesday, so go to his Instagram, and you can experience Dirtfish up in the Pacific Northwest. It's absolutely beautiful up there. It's in Snoqualmie, Washington. It's really cool. Rally school, a lot of drivers go up there and do some practice. Have you ever been up to Dirtfish? Have you guys ever been up there?
I must tap up James and Steve.
Sweet.
head up there at some point. Yeah,
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, after my performance in Montreal, I think I need to go up for some.
Come up there and have a little crack at it yourself, get some practice in.
Yeah, it's really cool. So Connor Martell's got a great promotion. Go to his Instagram, find out you can experience Dirtfish. He wanted to let everybody know that Vermont sports car, and I was talking to his mom, and they had a tough time getting here. Flights got canceled, all this thing, because it's like -40 up in Vermont.
Yeah, the irony is, of course, it's also -40 over at Trois Rivières, where it was -3, and we would have liked it to be -40. And we come here, we get the Chinook weather system coming. It's like, what are we doing? We just
Sorry, man. Everywhere I go, I just bring the heat, baby.
It's California. California comes with Jared wherever he goes.
All right, so we are ready to throw down with Larson and Martell. 30 seconds to go. The 30-second card is out. You can see Sweden versus Vermont. America versus Sweden. Who do you think's going to get this, Meeke?
Connor ran me very close yesterday. Like I say, Robin's leading the championship. No points this weekend, so he's nothing really to risk. My money would be on Connor. I think.
Let's see if Chris Meeke's right. Connor is on the inside line. Championship leader Robin Larson takes a good hard stare down at the dash. Get his settings just right for the launch. There's one place up for grabs in the super final. The winner of this quarterfinal will take that last spot. Line up against Chris Meeke, Pastrana and Kevin Erickson. Martell gets a little sideways kick up the line. Contact between Larson and Martell. Down the back straight, they're into each other's doors. Martell get pushed wide. Larson in his door gets crossed up, straightens up the RX cartel machine, ends up in P2. That's the closest start we've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking, we're just talking about Larson kicking back, but then you said, I'll roll my sleeves. Yeah, he rolled them all the way up. I think he cut off the sleeves. He has a muscle shirt now.
T-shirt.
Yeah, zero chill Robin Larson absolutely sends it over that hip.
He nailed that jump, absolutely got it perfect. But there you see, it was neck and neck and into those bales. Finally, Larson was the one that just shied away. It's not championship points this weekend.
Keep an eye on Connor Martell. Remember last time Vermont Sports Cars sent Travis Pastrana in from the lead. Now, if that checks up Larson on the way in terms of brakes, that might get them a little advantage. Are they going to do the same with Connor and send him into the Joker? No. So Larson will go. He has to go on one of these 2 laps. There's only 2 opportunities to go in. So Larson into the Joker. Chris, talk us through this.
Yeah, this is real tricky. The ice is disappearing here. There's a bit of tarmac. It gets real loamy. You run wide to that wall. Here, it's real difficult to pick your braking spot. You're over a blind crest into a square right. Snowbank in the inside. Wow.
Wow, it looked like he's milking a cow there, man, with that steering wheel.
Yeah, look at this. I think he's going to do this. He's looking to be driving really, really well.
I know, Chris, you've been saying how consistent Robin Larson's been. Larson up the face of the jump, check it up, butter the landing, tidily done again, quite heavy. Gathers it up. Here comes Connor Martell. 17.2 is the gap. He goes to the right at the minute. Our predictor is saying that Larson's going to stay in P2, but we need to see the point at which they go into the crossover. Going to come down now. Watch as he drops under the bridge. If we saw, he's running the rear end
using
down.
all of the course.
Martell's out in front at the minute. Oh, yes, because the crossover point is the giveaway. So it looks like Larson's lost too much time.
All right, so Connor Martell looks like he's going to lock it in. Connor Martell doing a good job. Both Vermont sports cars are going to be in the final. And Travis said Connor Martell's got what it takes, and it looks like he does. So Connor Martell makes his way into the Super 4. Robin Larson, again, our championship points leader, DRR JC RX Cartel. So look at that. Both, Andreas Bakkerud and Robin Larson are in the 5 in the Super 5, but the Super 4 features both Vermont sports cars.
When you put money, when you asked me my prediction, we put $10.
You did a good job. Oh, okay. I'll buy you a beer. I'll buy you a beer later.
But yeah, well done, Chris. I mean, Chris called it there.
I'll send you an NFT or Bitcoin or something.
Yeah.
What are they worth these days?
I'll definitely take a Bitcoin at the minute.
So yeah, Connor Martell rolling back over the jump in front of the crowd. So that gives us our lineup: Chris Meeke, Travis Pastrana, Kevin Erickson, and Connor Martell.
All right, so there's the Super 4, and just like that, some great racing there. But we're gonna finish out all the brackets and the super final, right? So as absolutely a good race. You saw the fist pump. He's hyped.
So this was off the line, look. Larson and Martell contact. Although Larson did his best to squeeze him into that low snowbank on the inside. Hope he gets sucked in and loses a bit of time. But in the end, he gave it up and slotted into P2. Sensible thing. For a minute there, he forgot he was leading the championship. This jump, Chris, was perfect, wasn't it? The very bottom of the landing.
Like you say, perfect. But the difference between perfect and over jumping it is like 2 kilometers an hour on takeoff or 2 miles an hour. It is so delicate. On that takeoff, if you just over jump it, you're landing in the hole.
Conor Martell then takes the last spot in the super final. Grid positions, TBC.
All right, so a good time here, and again, we have our super final sets. They're going to be in it, but let's throw it down to Katie Osborne. Katie.
You know, that was so cool to see Conor Martell with that hand clap and fist in the air. And of course, everybody in here, it was as though they were cheering along for Conor Martell. One thing I think is really fascinating is you can see the fact that he's wearing those yellow glasses, and that was for the visibility. I actually talked to Kevin Erickson over here about the visibility out there, and he said being in Sweden this light with this kind of snow, it doesn't bother me whatsoever, but he can imagine how it could make an impact for a few others. I did ask him if he's going to be wearing any of those yellow glasses. One time he said, the one time he did put them on his face, he said, this isn't going to work out. But you know, Chris and guys in the booth, I was just kind of curious, really, how challenging would it be for drivers right now to see without any kind of dimension within the snow in the sky?
Yeah, because you can't, and they were taught, Chris was just talking about that in the bank now, there's that little kind of bump. So, you know, just getting that clarity and getting the HD, it would be very difficult if you have whitewash, right?
Yeah,
and
it's really hard to read. It's really hard to read.
A great point, Katie. Great point. Taking a look at the Nitro Rallycross A-Shock road to the finish line. So we do have our Super Final 4. We will finish out the battle brackets. Let that be noted. But where
really
they are seated right now, there we have it.
Really important, yeah. So basically, anybody who lost in that second column, and also Andreas Bakkerud from round 1, they're going to be in the Super 5. These top 4 that are still to go, Super Final for them. Who wins from these 2 semi-finals, they go on to the front row, and that's going to be really important in terms of trying to win the Nitro Rallycross Stampede here in Calgary.
All right, up next, we are going to literally go next. We're going to NRX Next vehicles here. And we're going to see what goes down as the semifinals are set in the battle brackets, but also forging that Super Final 4. The fans out here got the beanies, got the jackets. They know how to stay warm. They're used to it. So let's take a look behind the scenes with one of our sponsors, Insta360. This camera can do it all. Really cool. Different perspective, different angle. You can see outfitted on all the vehicles. And
we got some great footage, but when you put cameras off the side of rallycross cars, and drivers are going super tight and stuff, I'm not going to lie, we've done for a few of them already. And I saw the guys from Insta360 this morning. They were all smiles. They're so stoked for being involved with this. And look at that. It's incredible. Yeah. But yeah, I'm afraid the drivers have put a few in the wall. So they were out there looking for cameras. I was like, I would check the chicanes, definitely. The jump landing. They found one. But yeah, great pieces of kit. Good to have them on board. Literally.
I think Meek's actually broke it the most. I've seen his, like the extension arm just kind of falling to the side and this and that. And Justin Smash, our drone driver, they're here this weekend. He's been running them, so you can see him on the drones, on the cars, in the cars, and having a good time. Insta360, thank you for your support. So pick one up today. And
got some F1 fans down there in the stands, I think. That's the Mercedes-Benz hat with a claw on it as well. That's maybe a Lewis fan. We need Sebastian Vettel invited to come and have a go by Travis. He was up at the Race of Champions last weekend trying to persuade a few more superstars to come and have a crack at an FC1X. They loved it up at Race of Champions.
Yeah, Travis said he's coming over. Seb.
Well, let's get it.
See over.
Come on, Seb. Come
Seb
and
and NRX. Let's go. All right, so we got so much talent behind the wheel and different countries being represented, but the signature green, yellow, and black flag is flying high in the A-Shock Energy, Jamaica on the fenders. Let's go inside the team with this rising star that is Fraser McConnell, aka Fraz.
What's up, everybody? Fraser McConnell here. We are in Calgary, and this is episode 8 of Inside the Team. Check it out. Let's go.
Fraser first got interested in motorsports when a friend brought a small motorcycle to a birthday party out on our farm. Within 5 minutes, he was whipping that bike around, and we were, both Steph and I were like, how did he ever learn to do that?
I must have been God, 11 or 12 racing in the A class on my CR85, you know, flying over double jumps and big tabletops. And that's when we transitioned into go-karts. And then from then it was just a very fast progression.
A friend of his from school said, my dad's importing some go-karts for international race. Let's go look at the track. So we all jumped in a car, family trip, went to a go-kart track, which was completely new to me because we're not motorsports people. He jumped in the kart the following week and won his first race. So it was mind-blowing. It's just his thing.
You know, being able to be around family, it kind of has that home feeling where you get to turn off from the racetrack and, you know, reset for the next day. So it's good to have them there.
We're there for support, for emotional support. Spending time with him is always important, just being there for him.
It's nerve-wracking. It doesn't get easier each time. I have my little mantra that I say every time he goes on the track. I have to put my faith in Fraz that he has a great feel and a great touch.
You never get used to it. It's always scary. You know, even time practice, I get goosebumps and butterflies.
They're the most supportive parents out there, you know, and I take my hat off to them. And you know, one day I'd love to, you know, be as supportive as they are. They're there for the ups and they're there for the downs, and you know, we embrace it all.
Well, you can see the cowboy hats, the wrestling belts, all things Nitro, right? And of course, you know, we got Katie Osborne, we got this cowboy right here. We call him Cowboy Coley. That's what he does when he goes north of the border, south of the border, or across any borders outside of the UK. But a gentleman's having a lot of fun, and you know, we don't call Tommy a clown, but guess what? He's hanging out with some rodeo clowns, and I think everybody in Canada loves him, including all the clowns.
Being a man of action sport myself, today is a true pleasure. I'm joined by Keenan Vine, professional bullfighter, a guy who gets in the way of danger as a job.
I was a former professional bullfighter for 15 years, and since then I produced some of the largest rodeos like the Calgary Stampede, and we're going to get you in here, get the stuff on you, and see what it's going to be like for you.
Sick. I'm nervous, excited.
Fighters, their job is to step in between the bull and the bull rider. So they're coming up against horns like this on a daily basis. Yeah. So he's coming this way, you go that way. There you go.
You don't want to. Yeah.
That would be not good.
No, that's
not good.
That's a dump area. That's not a.
Like my dad always used to say, wrecked him.
Yeah.
Damn near killed him. Kind of go in circles. Oh,
get out of here.
Perfect.
Yeah. Knock, bull.
Who's there? Hey, it's like you're an athlete or something.
I pretend.
The bull comes, and then you get around the barrel.
You can't get me.
When he needs to go get in this, it's going to be quite a quick process. We'll see how you do, but grab the barrel like this, jump up, in they go, right? Disappear, you're done.
You got a bigger barrel?
This is the biggest barrel we got, man. We're gonna have to use a little bit of physics, I think.
Yeah.
You got it. Woo! You got it. Not happening as quickly as it probably would in real life, I think.
Bro, come on, man. This ain't one.
It's not normally this tight.
That's what she said.
I think you're in there pretty good. Like there you go. Down quick. Bull's coming. Moment of truth, Tommy.
Okay. Oh no, the bull. Okay. He still got me.
Oh, there he goes. That's it for Tommy. Rolling. Oh man.
Well,
that was awesome.
That's my bullfighting career. Thanks, guys. Me and Keenan, we're going to enjoy some racing now. Back to you.
Hats off to you, Tommy.
Mate.
Hats off to you.
He's brave, to be fair. He is brave.
Yeah, we've thrown him in so many different situations, but traditionally it's always food. but again, Calgary, I had no idea. Just that Tourism Calgary says, "Hey, come on up here." I mean, if we don't come back here next year or next season, excuse me, for Nitro Rallycross, I mean,
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm going to go get my ski on next time. Well, I had a little ski this time up at Windsport. You had a little golf on. We've been in the town, had a few beers. Great place, fantastic venue. Thoroughly enjoying the weekend. And we've now got the last chance qualifier coming up for you with NRX Next, the support category. Normally aspirated 2.4 litre Mount Tune engine, 6P gearboxes. Championship on the line for the NRX North America champion. The favourite for that is Casper Janssen, who went through to the final earlier on today.
Here on the grid, we are seeing all of those back 40 motorsports vehicles going against the only Olsberg's MSE vehicle of Casper Janssen, who is absolutely on one here this weekend. And you talk about that North American Championship, the World Champion.
Come through and take the win. Here he comes. Michaela's going to come out in the merge. Watch in the background, though, for the back 40 teammates. Inside line, Jimmy Henderson comes out from the joke lap. Gordon not quite close enough.
Yep. So that you can see Henderson quickly slide up there to second, utilizing the Yokohama Tire Joker lap. But again, just insight, not knocking strategy, but that was kind of a case of you should have gone Joker.
He obviously felt quicker, and he came up behind him on the jump. Jared, you say you get distracted in turn one, he ran wide. So for me, get yourself a bit of track space and go, especially when the Joker is this long. When you go Joker, you're not going to come back out in traffic. You're going to have clear air in front of you.
And now not being on that front row, that's going to be a big deficit for Jimmy Henderson on the second row. So Lane Michaela will be on the front next to Casper Janssen. Henderson and Gordon almost matching liveries. You can see the 44 and the 99. They're going to be on that back row for our NRX Next finals. The NRX Nitro Rallycross Group E vehicles behind us. You can see Meeke and Bennett just behind us. So as all those cars are getting prepped for our semifinals, let's take a look back where we're actually going back to Glen Helen to culminate a 22/23 Nitro Rallycross season. This is Glen Helen.
The Glen Helen Raceway close to Los Angeles hosted round 4 of season 2. Jamaican Fraser McConnell was in top shape, dominating the battle bracket to take top qualifier in the final against Ollie Erickson.
All right, so here we go. Fraser McConnell, Ollie Erickson, 15 seconds till sending it. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to get TQ? As you said, Coley, this could be Ollie's second TQ, top qualifier, the trophy, the bragging rights, the points, all of it. Or is the Jamaican flag going to fly higher with that checker flag at the end of these laps? Here we go. Fraser McConnell, Ollie Erickson. Who's going to get the great start? Ripping up with those Yokohama tires, going to the gravel. Here we go. Pretty fairly equally matched start there. You see Ollie Erickson on the right. Looks like he gets the jump on Fraser McConnell.
It's going to be interesting into the next corner. He's got to block him down. He did get it. Wow, Oliver, excellent maneuvering right there.
McConnell with great speed there through turn 2. He really sent it on the way and he took it up wide. Goes inside. McConnell makes the pass. Surely. Erickson trying to go around the outside. Holds on. They're almost side by side over the A-Shock Energy gap jump.
So that's why they took a long time during that break. They were getting, make sure this whole track is perfect. Look how tight this battle is.
Fraser's tactics, unbelievable. Went up high, waited, lifted on the throttle mid-corner to get in front. He takes the lead again. Brilliant driving.
Fraser on the inside. Oliver trying to do whatever he can. This is absolutely amazing.
This is great racing.
Dude, this track is so close. These cars are identical. Huge jump on Oliver.
Ollie went to flat. Yeah. Franz is throwing his elbows. Looks like he kind of put the brakes on him, kind of checked him up. But I'll tell you what, Ollie is right there. Look at getting sideways over these hits.
Ollie does not care. He is launching it. He's landing sideways. He wants this win like nothing else. Coming into that corner, that's where Oliver's been a little bit slow through that corner, but everywhere else he has been on fire. They're backing it in, both of them.
Erickson took such a big risk landing in flat, Travis. It reminded me of you on the first jump at ERX 3 weeks ago when you flew longer than anybody else. He's trying to get up behind Fraser. That's the corner that Fraser made the pass on the previous lap.
And this is your point, Travis. You're talking about when you go so sideways, you're really beating up your tires, your equipment. You need to survive 3 laps, and it is just 3 laps. So it is very concentrated, but Fraser really aired out, getting very sideways, even more so than a very slidey Oliver.
Okay, so Franz blocking the insides. Oliver's trying to use the outside line. He's coming in with speed, trying everything he can. High, low. This track is amazing. Look out, he's going sideways over the jump. Does he have him?
We got one more lap. Guess what? The white flag is out. Ollie Erickson is nipping right there.
Oh my
So much of the tire. Barely hitting that tractor tire.
Here we go. Right here, inside. This is going to be it. Does not get the does he come in deep again to try to get that next corner? At the end of the day, if you can go into the last turn on this track close, and if you go wide, you lose time. If you go inside, you block your line, you lose time.
Look what happened with Brian Meeke and Travis Pastrana earlier. This won't be over until the final corner. Erickson goes high again, can't get through. Fraser McConnell leads. Watch for Erickson now to take that wide line. He jumps to flat again, Jared.
He went too far. He's not in a position to make the pass right here.
We got one more corner. Look at this. Fraser McConnell going for his first ever TQ in that A-Shock vehicle, taking out Ollie Erickson. And Fraser McConnell is going to get it easily with that checkered flag. Congratulations to the Jamaican driver,
Look,
Fraser
listen
McConnell.
to the crowd. There's more Jamaicans here. There are Americans. He's got such a big fan club. It's amazing.
Heat 1 saw slippery track conditions causing problems for some of the drivers, while championship leader Larson showed his class, securing his place on the front row at the final. In the second heat, Fraser McConnell's brilliance showed again. After a close battle with Bakkerud in lap 1, the Jamaican pulled away and never looked back until the checkered flag. The semi-final saw Pastrana's woes continue as he hit the wall again. Meanwhile, out front, Kevin Erickson's pace secured him the win. Despite the engineer's best efforts, Pastrana's car was not ready in time for the LCQ, so he would miss the final for the second time this season. An aggressive battle between Ollie Erickson and Ollie Bennett ensued. Despite both damaging their cars, Bennett proved the sturdier and he took the win. The stage was set for an iconic final in Glen Helen. So McConnell versus Larson on row 1. You heard from Travis, the track's in great condition. Jared Deander's back up here in commentary with us. Who's going to take it round 4 at Nitro Rallycross? Will it be Fraser McConnell on the inside line with a good start? Can Larson hold on around the outside? Oh, it's a good start by Larson. Gets alongside McConnell immediately. McConnell going to try and run him wide. Bakkerud. Larson's teammates right in there. They get straight into a line. McConnell going to go defensive up at turn 1. It's Ollie Erickson looking to P4 already sideways. In the background, I think Martell might have made it. Blinks it into turn 1. It's an epic start by Fraser McConnell. That's how you start the race.
Fraser McConnell comes out unscathed, and the RX Cartel, the DRRJC guys, they're getting into each other. Is that a smart move, Travis?
No, but I tell you what, Larson, man, you saw Kevin Erickson, lots of wheel spin over there. Ollie Bennett kind of getting up in there. This is a wild start, but Larson it's proving that he is a championship contender, and no matter what happens, he is getting it up and putting it in wherever he can. He is making the best of every single corner.
Now, Larson didn't give up the win, Travis. You took some serious risks at ERX with a huge jump and managed to gap Larson. He knows he's got that big championship lead out front. He's not going to give that up yet, is he? Surely he'll have a few cracks at trying to get McConnell.
You need the win, and McConnell needs this win more than anybody. I don't think McConnell's not going to do anything other than go wide open. Now, he's got to watch out. A lot of these guys are over-jumping the jumps, and they're saying, oh, the tires are going off.
Larson, Joker, straight away.
So everyone's really fast, but Larson's going to come behind some of the other drivers, so he's going to have a little bit more in his windscreen. He's betting that he is the faster driver, and that's why he took the Joker so early.
And you talked about the tires yesterday. You got to think this is the most amount of laps they're doing, so they're holding 3-4 laps, but now it's 6 laps. Can you hold the tires together?
Absolutely. The tires are great. It's when you push too hard, you over-jump a jump, you have to land sideways to get these heavy cars to maneuver. They have a lot of horsepower, but if you jump too far, you pitch in like Franz is doing, you're taking risks when you hit
You're flirting with it.
Oh, yeah.
Larson's Joker was perfectly timed. He's also covered off Kevin Erickson. So Erickson, Bennett and Martell went Joker very early on, and Larson's covered him off. So at 5.9 back, Robin Larson is just about within reach of McConnell. Jared, we know that split is about 6 seconds.
Larson right on the inside, not taking any chances with the tires. He is doing everything perfect, but Franz is flying.
The flying Jamaican. Look at that A-Shock energy vehicle out front. He's got that clean air. Look at how much, you're seeing a lot of dirt in Bakkerud's face, and he's navigating through it. But again, taking that Joker lap, Larson, is that going to pay off?
Larson's taking another 10th out of McConnell, so watch out for the yellow-coloured RX Cartel machine from the RJC.
Giving Larson everything he can. Those guys are battling back and forth back there. That is going to hurt Larson, but Larson doesn't have anyone in front of him. He's got clear vision. That is huge. You look at all the windscreens. Some of these guys can't see anything heading into the sun.
Okay. He's all over the back of him. He's right. He's all over the back. You're on board with Larson now. What you can't see is behind how close Kevin Erickson is. So if Kevin Erickson can slow Larson down, and indeed the gap's gone up to 6.1, so Erickson interfering with Larson is slowing him down 0.3 of a second. Now
Franz,
5 have gone towards
He's not
Franz.
slowing him down. Franz is just flat flying.
He is ripping. I mean, he's throwing it sideways over that A-Shock energy gap jump.
I'm talking about Larson. Larson's being held up by Erickson behind him. It was down to 4.8, and the pressure Kevin's putting on has gone up to 6.4.
I agree, but it's not Larson or Kevin. It's the fact that those two. Bakkerud was the fastest here last year, and definitely the Jamaican out front, Fraser McConnell. He is on fire right now. They are ripping.
All right, so Fraser McConnell, and then you see Bakkerud there in second. Do you think he's kind of waiting for strategy-wise, or he's just trying to get up to it? Fraz just pulling away.
No, Bakkerud's doing everything that he possibly can to get
Fastest lap.
I'll get fastest lap of the day. He is on it too. Oliver Erickson fastest in a lot of these practice sessions. He needs this win, but Oliver has been sending it so sideways on the jumps. He's getting a lot of flats. We'll see if it's going to pay off. He looks straighter now.
Bakkerud's giving himself no chance here tactically in terms of joker lap. So they're coming on to the final lap now. You would have thought he might have gone on that fight, Travis.
No team strategy. He wants ahead of his teammate. He wants every point for this championship. He wants to get in the lead after this one.
I mean, there's a lot of races still left. Here we are, round 4 of the championship. There's still plenty of rounds left. So you got to think, are you thinking championship? You're trying to win, and Fraser McConnell trying to make it a perfect event. He wins the TQ yesterday, his first ever, and now here he is leading the pack. 1 lap left to go, and the white flag is out. Fraser McConnell, can the A-Shot Jamaican pilot do it?
Get a top
go
joker.
And the next 3, and they are all almost identical. Fraz looking really good, and actually, I mean, as happy as Fraz gets, it's really slick coming into here. This is a big one.
So watch for the merge. Watch for the merge. Wait for Larson to come over the gap jump. This is going to be for the win. Larson on the inside line. Fraser McConnell's there though. Larson can't quite close him down. Bakkerud into his teammate. Larson.
These guys can hit each other.
Fraser McConnell though with just a corner to go. The Jamaican flicks it into that left-hander now.
Oh boy.
It's been an absolutely brilliant performance by the Jamaican. The crowd will be on their feet for this. It's going to be a first ever Nitro Rallycross victory for Fraser McConnell.
Last corner. I got
brilliant performance by him.
Oh, look at this.
Every carnage in the background. Here he comes. Fraz with the P1. P2 goes Robin Larson. Bakkerud's going to get P3. Finish. Yeah. Look at that. Yes.
The emotions run deep for the 35. Fraser McConnell gets his first ever win. It's a perfect event, baby. He gets EQ, he gets the pole, and he gets the win from start to finish. Fraz puts it together for Jamaica.
Yes, look how much it means. Dude, look at that.
There was a 3-second gap from first to 6.
Yeah.
These cars have so much power. This track is so fast, and everybody put it together for the final.
Do you know what, Travis, other than you being 3/10 quicker than him on Saturday, this has been a dominant...
300s.
Okay, 300s.
Well, I want to give you guys a little behind the scenes of what's happening here in the pits prior to the semis. Now, this happens to be a radiator from Chris Meeke's car. Now, we knew that there was a bit of an issue. He had some suspension and a damper issue. It completely broke. The team fixed it. Chris said when that went over the jump and he landed, hit so hard, he said in the driver's seat, he completely felt everything. I can't imagine what his backside must feel like. He is going up against Travis Pastrana, whose car is no longer sitting there. But as we make our way over to Vermont Sports Car, Travis was saying that he had hit his marks throughout that first quarterfinal. He felt like that was really him racing again. He said that the fans here, the crowds here are making it really special. And though, of course, we know that this is the Nitro Rallycross Stampede today, he said he's definitely giving his 100% and is all. Meanwhile, you can see that Connor Martell is suiting up, getting ready to get fit for the start line. Now, of course, Connor Martell is going up against Kevin Erickson. Connor said one thing to keep in mind is that this track is a whole lot different than it's been throughout the weekend, and they haven't raced actually at this time of the track either. So it's 2 different things that is going on with the track. They took that second chicane away, plus there's less grip. He said the real question is if people can adjust quickly, they're going to be the one getting out on top. Meanwhile, Kevin Erickson, on the other hand, he said that he feels like he's in good form. He knows that yesterday was really good for him and the team in general. And he said one thing that he noticed was his start was not good in that quarterfinal, and something that he wants to do a little bit differently going up against Connor Martell. He said one thing to keep in mind, the pole position here is critical. And of course, being in a position to go up against Connor Martell, who you can see is clapping and getting himself geared up, it's going to be some tough semifinals.
And here we are. It's a little frigid. These guys dress for success right now. They got their tuxedos on. So it is a formal affair here for the Nitro Rallycross Stampede. That's a little bit slower than we were expecting.
Do you think it's for the balance? Like, it must be the balance. It's Calgary Zoo. I mean, I'm down for a visit to Calgary Zoo. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Pretty awesome place to live if you're a penguin. I mean, half the year at least is proper penguin territory, isn't it? I mean, if you're a penguin in the Caribbean Zoo, I mean, that'd be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
I mean, I've seen the movies. All right, let's talk. Let's get A-Shock Energy Nitro Rallycross Road to the finish line. And you can see those final 4 names there. Meeke, Pastrana, Erickson, Martell. They are in the super final. So they're taking those top 4 drivers. The remaining 5 drivers go to the Super 5. Let's just call it what it is. And then we will eventually get a winner. But we will finish out these bracket battles, road to the finish line. It was, so it won't be a repeat for TQ as far as Fraser McConnell. He got knocked out by Pastrana. So looking forward to seeing who's coming out on top here at the Calgary Stampede.
The owl was awesome, by the way, just as a side note. I like the owl.
Who?
The owl.
Who?
In the shot there at the end.
Who?
Eh? Oh, very good. I like that, Jared.
Owl puns.
Very good. Pikachu hat, I approve of that. That's cool as well.
All right, so next up we will be seeing Meeke versus Pastrana. Looking forward to that. That should be a really good one. Again, Meeke had some words for Pastrana.
The Meeke magnet.
Ooh, yeah. And then that of Kevin Erickson versus Connor Martell. So you have either, it could be all Vermont Sports Car Final.
Yeah, on the front row. It could be on the front row. So this is basically the two people who make it to the final. So the winners of the semis are front row. The losers of the semis are back row in that super final. Then the winner of the final bracket today, rather than being top qualifier, they are pole in the super final. So you're going to want to be on that inside line. That's where the drivers always want to be. You can see Pastrana just pulling down those belts. There's a lot of respect between these two. You know, we have a bit of banter about the fact they have come together a few times, definitely. They're 2 of the most assertive drivers out on track, let's call it that. They really are. Look, Travis Pastrana, just a little thumbs up across.
He's having a blast here, man. And you heard it earlier. He says, let's get this KB livery on the top of the box. That retro throwback Ken Block homage livery to his first ever stage rally championship. KB 43, KB forever. Ken Block, near and dear to our hearts. Lost him tragically January 2nd. And just an absolute motorsports icon. 30 seconds to go until we see these 2 gentlemen, just absolute legends in their own regard. 199 Travis Pastrana needs no introduction. If you know rally, you know Chris Meeke. That guy's an absolute weapon behind the wheel in the stage rally world. His first ever introduction going wheel to wheel, but I think he's fared pretty well. What do you think, Coley?
I think he has too, but he will not be lost on the fact that it's Pastrana who's alongside him. These 2 have come together many times this season. It's gone the way of each of them. They're both going to want to be on the front row. Chris Meeke, full focus now. Pastrana on the outside line. Watch for the wheel spin. That's what's key. They both get good grip away from the line. Meeke, though, immediately on the inside, nudges Pastrana out wide. Job done. It is the Northern Irishman who leads as they head down that back straight. Pastrana's got to get as close as he can. Look out, it's almost a straight line, that chicane at the back there. And then watch for the little dip crest as they come around this long left-hander. They're ripping through here, Jared.
Yeah, Travis needs Chris Meeke to make a mistake, and he hasn't done it so far. And it came down so, just down to the spike of a Yokohama.
Chris's speed through the long left-hander was massive. He gapped Travis by 1.1 by the time they reached the finish line. Travis maybe closed up a little bit on the braking zone to the jump. Chris nudges the bank on the inside there. Pastrana's closed him down just a little bit. Now, is Chris going to go for the dummy? He's got David Mansfield spotting for him. He's a bit of an expert. I think they'll stay out. 1.0 now they do. Travis Pastrana backs the car in lovely rotation. Pastrana's entry to the Joker lap. That may be the best I've seen so far this weekend. Really nicely done.
Man, that was absolutely no sanitizer needed on that. That was absolutely clean, no dirt at all. Yokohama Tire Joker lap. Pastrana, let's see how he handles this exit. Like you talk about, getting a little light on that exit of the tunnel. Ooh, he kind of got out to that berm. That's good. He's going to kind of add some seconds to his time. But look at me, flat out.
that camera angle of Meeke, where you can see him working away on the wheel as he goes up through the second turn after the jump, runs out, keeps the car tight on the inside, doesn't want to get out in the roost. Pastrana's Joker was really good, Jared. Now comes Meeke. Watch goes for 3-time Scandinavian flick on the way in. 19.7 is a massive lead for Chris Meeke, the World Rally Championship legend. Remember, a winner of Rally Finland. Entry into the tunnel is bang on the money. He's on the throttle really early down there, runs the car out again for the outside.
He talks about how sketchy it is, but I'll tell you what, he is not making it look sketchy at all. Meeke, an absolute weapon, now bringing it on home into that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. Travis Pastrana, no, he is absolutely just miles apart. Look at that, Pastrana airing it out. Unfortunately, he will be on the back row of the finals, and he will not get TQ in the battle brackets, but a great execution by Chris Meeke.
Dominant display by Meeke.
Please give me several pushes if the car is okay.
Interesting. So radio, I don't think Chris can talk back, or they've maybe got an issue with the comms. That was Graham Rodermark on the radio, so maybe Mansfield wasn't spotting, saying give me several pushes on the button if the car is okay. So they've got a comms issue with Chris Meeke there. They'll need to get that fixed for later for Joker Tactics. Not so important in a battle bracket, but that was a brilliant display of car control and commitment, which the crowd loved from Chris Meeke. He goes through to the final. Can he get the pole for the super final later today?
Yeah, definitely very cool for Chris Meeke, taking out Travis. I know Travis has got a lot of fans here. He's kind of the most notable name on these racing fans' lips. Let's take a look back at, it was all Meeke from start to finish.
I loved seeing the commitment and the precision from both these drivers, Jared. The start was pretty simple between the two, and this is Meeke coming down the jump. He rolls the knuckle of the jump on that lap. Look at the rotation on Pastrana's car there. His entry to the Joker lap was absolutely brilliant, but whatever Chris did on the standard lap, or maybe that little mistake, this is where he runs out into the bank. It was. We didn't see it. It was a much bigger mistake for Pastrana. He got the front wheel sucked into the bank. Chris Meeke then up and over the right. Watch the entry into the tunnel. If we see, he just gets the rotation super early. He's on the power early, and he takes the checker flag a long way ahead of Pastrana. So Meeke will fight it out for pole position very shortly. Brilliant stuff from the first of our semi-finals in the battle for the grid positions on the super final. It will be Meeke who goes through. He's going to face either Kevin Erickson or Connor Martell, and they're up next.
Well, we know that one of the Vermont sports cars, the fans are getting rowdy. It's Sunday. Act like it, kids. He's ready to race in snow. He's got his blue blockers on. He's got his amber lenses. Oh, whoa, gosh. Okay, that's a new one. Connor Martell's got his own soundtrack going. I'll tell you what, Kevin Erickson, he walked past us here in the paddock. He was laser focused. We got Andreas Bakkerud, the boy in blue. He's going to go say hi to some fans. Monster Girl, Robin Larson. He's in street clothes. I said, hey, did you know he's going to race later? Well, right now, eyes are on the prize for Connor Martell, the number 21. Connor Martell, Kevin Erickson. We saw him do his little dance. Make a little love, get down tonight. We'll see if he gets down tonight.
So Andreas Bakkerud and Robin Larson made their way round and giving Chris Meeke a round of applause in his own pit area. They're now heading to sign some autographs. Who's going to get the round of applause from this one? Kevin Erickson made it through to the end of the battle brackets. Yet say Martell's jumped the start. Game over, and he knows because the Joker lap here is massive. Jared, you said it yesterday. A penalty Joker lap here, you might as well book your spot in the next round because it's going to be a long way back. That is a hard no.
No. Son of a gun.
That's a shame, man. That's taken away a great fight. Son of a
jump in the gun.
Yeah, he did jump it. Oh, man.
I blame himself
up too much, Jared. He was going for it too much and he went too early.
He just got too jacked up. Dude.
Wild. With a Y.
You saw his face went from this to
oh, man. Here we go, look. Oh. That was it.
Where is it like a bad suit? Oh well. So again, what we're taking a look at now is, as you said yesterday, when you jump the gun, you are going to be penalized. Is he getting penalized? Just want to make sure. Just want to confirm. So it is confirmed. He is penalized. He has to go to the Joker lap twice. That is
nightmare. Robin Larson just walked back behind us. Those two guys are pretty chilled now. They've just got the one race left to go. We've got one semi-final left to go here. We know Martell's got a second Joker lap to go, and he gives up the start pretty much there, Jared. I mean, there's no point in damaging the car now. He's got the super final to do later on today. Martell will try. I suppose he might try and just show he's got the pace anyway. You may as well go and put the laps in, but it is disappointing.
Yeah, it was over before it began. I mean, you hate for Kevin to damage his vehicle. We have one more, round, the doubleheader round, at Glen Helen. But you would hate for Kevin to do something where Connor got this, where there's no points at stakes, no sense in damaging the cars. But that's the only way Connor Martell is really going to get the victory on paper.
Yeah, exactly. Look, amazing car control from both these guys. Yeah, let's get stuck into some of the driving stuff.
Yeah,
Martell, look, he is close. Martell will go, remember, on both laps now, so he's going to have to go Joker this time round. Connor will go in. Kevin will stay out, give himself a bit of space. Look at Travis's entry there was brilliant, Jared. This corner here, there's now pavement coming up through. Do you see there on the inside line?
Last
and he
night
keeps
we saw
it really
sparks.
tight. Yeah, so he's keeping it really tight to try and find some ice. Then runs the car out towards the wall on the brake early. Get the rotation done. Don't hit the bank on the inside. He used the handbrake there, or the bar, as some of the drivers call it. See if he does it the other way. No, just rotation. Lift off the brake. Back on the gas. On the throttle now, feeling for the transition. He half spins. Martell into the bank on the inside line. So misery heaped onto the double Joker. Kevin Erickson, meanwhile, is already on that back straight. He's going to go Joker now. Massive gap, 22.5, and that's going to double, Jared, by the time the second Joker's been done for Martell. Let's compare.
Yeah, so taking a look at Kevin Erickson, watch his entry into here. This is where he's trying to gain the right line. I think he came in a little bit shallow, didn't use all the course. We saw that with Chris Meeke. You see him almost flirt with that wall. Now watch this transition. He flicks it in. Again, this gentleman right here, Kevin Erickson, has more seat time than anybody behind the wheel of an FC1X. Look at that, tight on that inner bank, right on the berm. Nice clean line, was tidy. That's where Connor Martell over-rotated, went into the bank.
Erickson takes it. He's going to go to that final battle with Chris Meeke for the pole position. Good drive from Kevin Erickson. Shame for Connor Martell. I think the takeaway, Jared, is the track conditions. If you look, it's got quite snowy. The ice has been churned up by these incredible tyres that we've developed especially for it. Here's where Martell had his issue on the previous lap. This time he keeps it out the snowbank. But the grip conditions are changing. It's the middle of the day. I'm not going to say it's warm, but they're only getting to do the Joker lap once every now and then. Even the standard track, they're only out on occasionally, and feeling those grip levels is really hard work.
It's more shaved ice than it is ice cubes, so it's that's just what it is.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that. That's a good description.
Thank you. That's why we're here. Yeah, that's why we get paid the little bucks.
I like it, mate. I like it.
No, it's and it just seeing this is just history, man. I love seeing this and just the diversity of drivers. But the spec series, it's not so spec because it's a game of inches. I would say it's more of the inches in between the ears and how you handle it, how you handle just the diversity of background and driving prowess and what you bring to Nitro Rallycross. All right, so as these gentlemen pull off, our final is set. But again, we have our Super Final 4, and Katie is with Mr. Meeke now.
Yeah, guys, you were saying car commitment and control, and that was what we saw out of Chris Meeke. From your point of view, how would you rank that semi?
Probably one of the best rallycross races of my career, to be honest. Everything just went right. My start, I've been struggling with the start so nice. Back in Montreal a couple of weeks back, and here all day yesterday. I couldn't get the right technique to get away in these EV cars because the torque comes in instantaneous, so I think I've gotten top of that. My last two starts have been good, but yeah, to get it done against Travis there with a decent margin was pretty special, because anytime we have been on track together this season, we have had a touch or there's been a steward involved or something, so it was nice to get out front and have a clean race. But yeah, nice to do the job.
Yeah, I mean, you're mentioning battling against Travis, which is such an incredible thing. Looking at it right now, it's side by side. You guys almost had a little drag race going.
Yeah, like we said previous, our cars this year seem to have magnets on them. But when we were drawn again, we shook hands before and after, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
And he's in your, there's a magnet here too, just so you're aware.
Yeah, no, we have great rivalry and great respect for each other, so yeah, we'll see it.
Yeah, I was going to say, come on, we're talking about...
Yeah, the biggest thing, you get out there and you go against a guy like Chris Meeke, someone that I've idolized for my whole life as a driver, and I just try to drive a little bit too hard. Once you get off the line, you're gone, but I've learned from my mistakes. I'm going to come pushing you through the first chicane in the final, and I'll see you there.
Yeah. The respect's likewise. You know, Travis has been an inspiration to so many people around the world with what he's done, you know, so yeah, the respect is mutual there for sure.
You know, it's really great too, as you pulled in here, the crowd was a roar, as though, again, you had actually won the event today. How special is it knowing that you got the support?
Travis is in the pit box next to me, so I actually think they were still cheering Travis, even though he lost. He's such a huge star in this part of the world. So, we now go to the final of the battle brackets, and then we have 2 finals after that. So, still some work to do. So we still have to keep our feet in the ground, keep my wheels a bit more in the ground, because I did damage my rear suspension on a big jump earlier. But
yeah, we were looking at that radiator.
Yeah, everything was fine. It was just a bolt in, bolt out suspension strut. But car was working fine there, so we're looking forward.
All right, best of luck out there. Of course, he's going to be on pole position, and we know that pole position here in Calgary is very important.
A-Shock, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation. Yokohama Tire, make every drive a performance. Insta360, the world's best-selling 360 action cameras. Calgary's been absolutely exceptional, from the fans to the backdrops. Thank you to Tourism Calgary for having us out here. The Chinook Blast, the festival that continues, and you know, everybody's saying come back for the Stampede. It's a party, man. I think we should do 2 rounds here. We should do an ice one, and we should do a summer one.
Can we use the horse dirt? That's the question. We know you guys.
Oh, it's dusty.
I get it. It's special dirt. What's so special about it? We can bring our Nitro Rallycross cars here in the summer. Yeah. Keep that big jump. Those horse things can go over the big jump.
Those horse things?
Yeah, I mean, I'm maybe not a horse racing guy, but what a place.
This isn't cow racing. Contrary to popular belief, there's no cow racing. There's bucking Broncos and bulls.
He had some strange ideas about what. Yeah, no, Matt. It's Matt's first rodeo, clearly.
It is Matt's first rodeo.
The facilities here are incredible. We're in, is this like a rodeo arena? I guess it's like a rodeo arena.
This would be a rodeo arena. So you'll see, there's barrel racing. There's many different disciplines.
The hockey venue is literally over here. There was a
Calgary Flames right here.
Yeah. And then out the back here, the haulers, the team's haulers are actually parked in a hall behind here. To give you an idea of the scale of this place, they host these massive events, including, as we say, in the summer, the Stampede. So, it's a great place. I can't go skiing in the summer, Jared, so, I'm down for it. Let's just come and do 3 or 4 weeks in the winter. We'll get a minus 24 then.
Whatever Coley wants, Coley gets.
Let's see. Look, there's a man who's brilliant on snow and ice when he hadn't seen it 3 weeks ago.
And what a juxtaposition. The dude from Jamaica, the warmest country of all of them, reflected. So it looks like Fraz, thumbs up, taking some photos and taking some videos. Where's Katie at now?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how many Jamaican fans are out here in Calgary. I'm standing by with the Senior Vice President of Sales here with Tourism Calgary. And, I mean, the Jamaican fans, the Canadians, the fans all over for what we've seen here in Nitro Rallycross. Thank you so much for what you and your team are doing to make it possible here in Calgary.
We're so excited to have this series here in Calgary. The fans' support and the interest from people of Calgary, and then all the racing fans from in and around, Alberta and Western Canada has been huge. To have a sellout yesterday, and then to be, I think, virtually sold out today, just says that there's a huge opportunity for this event to have a long future here in the city.
And as it relates to even the line coming in today, people are so wildly impressed with 2, 3, 4 lines to enter the building. As it relates to this experience in Calgary and the difference it's really making for not only you guys but us, is there anything that you want to speak to that it really represents a bigger picture here?
So Calgary's extremely famous for its Calgary Stampede in the summer, and to have this event take place in the same stadium where the rodeo takes place and the chuck wagons take place in the summertime, we've been looking for an event that could really capture that same kind of excitement. And I think, judging by the fans and the support that we've seen from the media and the sponsors and, ticket sales, I think it's something that could have a really long shelf life, and we're really excited about it.
What's your take? Would you ever get behind the wheel of one of these things?
I got to tell you, I know our mare has been excited for weeks about the ride she got to take on Friday. You know, and I'm not a huge thrill rider. I mean, it would probably scare me like crazy, but there's a lot of people been asking me if there's any way they could get into a car.
Oh man, it's a whole lot of fun, I imagine. So as you said, not necessarily a thrill ride, but Coley, Andrew, there's plenty around here.
And the construction continues. Yeah, great job. Great perspective as somebody who resides here in Calgary.
Yeah, and the fact that they're so keen, Jared. I love the fact they wanted an event which did what they do in the summer with the incredible Calgary Stampede. And yeah, we got a Nitro Rallycross Stampede. Now, maybe this is going to be a winter staple. You know, we'll be here a lot. Just behind us, by the way, they're repairing Christmas. You know, there it is. It's really hard moving your finger when it faces the wrong. But they're repairing Chris Meeke's car, basically. So we're going to take a look at some of the fantastic Insta360 footage we've picked up this weekend. On board with Ollie Bennett through the chicane. Not going to lose this camera, Jared. This one's inside. Yeah, inside. You can see inside that cockpit the FC1X deemed because of the first corner and the Olsberg's team debuting the vehicle, hence the name FC as in first corner and the 1X. Look at that, capturing the number of times that they went onto the brakes. You could see Bakkerud, brake no, and that's where you jump on the brake and realise I've got more grip than I thought, or less grip than I thought on and off the brake. So that's some fantastic footage there. Bit of snow roost up the back. This was all last night, of course. Yeah, how twitchy it is going past, slamming in. That looks like it was Travis. It was. That was Travis slamming into that hay bale and then entering into that Joker lap. Look how tight. Flirts with that wall. And there you can see how melted it was last night. And that's where we saw the sparks of those of the spikes wrapped into that Yokohama tire. So threw up the sparks, continued on. Just such a unique Joker. Like you said, Jokers, if it's, a couple turns, a couple outs, they'll nail it. This is long. This is probably, is it too long? TBD. But I love it. I think it's great because there's just so much windows of opportunity to make or lose seconds of time. Yeah, I mean, personally, I always prefer a longer Joker, and by that I mean I prefer a longer to a short cut, but I do like the idea of Nitro Rallycross mixing things up. Let's have some that are 2 seconds, let's have some that are like this. So, great challenge for the drivers, great footage from Insta360. More to come.
Well, Jared likes to call him Snackerud, Bakkerud. I still don't really know where that comes. Where did that come from?
Snackerud, it came from Ken. When we used to race together, I was like always snacking. He had gluten allergy, so he was like, at that time, Snapchat was like in the beginning, so he was using Snapchat, zooming in on me and like Snackerud's on it again. And whenever I was like sneaking snacks from Pavel.
KB43 forever. We are doing a whole lot of recognizing, honoring, and celebrating the life of Ken Block here. Now, speaking to that too, you did a Ken Block thing. You went out to the fans. You were hanging out with all of them, throwing some t-shirts. How special is it to have that kind of crowd here represented, even though you're not in the driver's seat here this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's cool, like, first time we come to Calgary and having already built a base. And, when we are out there speaking with the fans, they really acknowledge what we're doing. They're following Bakkerud live on my YouTube channel. They've been following me since before Ken and through Ken period. And it means a lot for us to come here and share the passion with them and for them finally have and host Rallycross.
Yeah, no, it's an incredible crowd. Okay, now from your analysis perspective, we got a decent battle coming up. We got Chris, we got Kevin. What's your take? Who do you think is going to win it?
I think Chris versus Kevin. Yeah. Yep. I got my money on Kevin this time.
You got your money on who?
Kevin. He looks solid all day.
There's a little bit of a redemption for Kevin, I think, right now.
It is, and also I think Chris was faster through qualifying, so I think he really want to go head on. And I also think Kevin is a bit slightly better in the starts.
So there we have it. And what's interesting, Kevin told me earlier, he felt like he messed up on a start and knows that what he has to actually do.
Yeah, but it's changing so much. Like, you need a little bit of draw the lottery ticket sometimes, and if he's lucky, I think he'll be good.
All right, guys, that's Andreas Bakkerud's thoughts.
Some great insight there. And a sold-out crowd here. Sold-out crowd. Look at that. Started them young. My man says, I ate all my poutine.
I need more.
Mom, I need more.
They're having a good time.
Fans, children, women.
It's colder today. Complete sellout both days, we've just been told, so that's fantastic to hear. It really is. Those guys are up in VIP. They got a really great view from the top. They're just beneath where the spotters are. Hats on. It is cold
Norwegian
today.
Fans, yeah.
And we're glad it is, to be fair, because if the sun had come out today, that could have been a little bit tricky for us, but it stayed cold. How many hats there, Jared? 1, 2, 3. Is there 4 hats?
Yeah, just go for it.
Rocking the 4 hat look.
Couple hoods. He's got the Micah Diaz beer game right now, the beard and beer game. Here we are. This is the NRX Next final. So all 4 vehicles on the track. Who is going to win? This is the North American Championship. So all things included, it culminates here. Casper Janssen, all eyes are on him. He won last night, and it really comes down to this. And then the World Finals, it will be at Glen Helen. 1 round and 1 round only to crown a world champion.
Yeah, they've had double headers everywhere, haven't they, this year? So they're going to have to change their approach on that weekend and just stretch it out, take the approach more like the Group E guys do. You know, you need a perfect weekend in Rallycross to get the job done. Casper Janssen certainly hasn't had a perfect season. He wouldn't have been happy necessarily with his performances back in Europe. He still did well. He's always been a front runner. But Casper Janssen is up for taking the championship in this race. This is their final race of the NRX Next North America Championship.
Casper basically needs 3rd or better. Don't be in last. Don't be the last zebra. Casper Janssen is your North American NRX Next champion.
There you can see the studs a little bit better actually from Eric Gordon on the side there. So how close we can get in on those on the studs on the back of the car. Here we go, nearly ready.
And here we are with our NRX Next final. You can see pole position, just that, Casper Janssen. Don't be in the last place, and he's going to not only grab the win of the championship, but he is one to watch. Lane Bakkerud up on the front row, and rounding out that back row, those back 40 Motorsports vehicles, Jimmy Henderson and Eric Gordon.
So it's Henderson in the 44 who can cause problems for Casper Janssen, the pole man, the blue and white car of Casper Janssen, last year's NRX Next champion overall. He's looking for the NRX Next North American Championship in the next few minutes. Can he get the job done here? Young Swedish driver gets a lot of wheel spin off the line, but Lane Bakkerud goes sideways. Janssen will get the whole shot, slotting in behind him. Oh no, Bakkerud comes around the outside. Lane Bakkerud finds extra traction and puts Casper Janssen down to P2. Bakkerud's late on the brakes, somehow squeezes through. How late was Lane Bakkerud on the brakes into that chicane?
Wow, Lane Bakkerud is throwing caution to the wind. He has something to prove. He got the win in that last in the LCQ. Let's see if he can take out Casper Janssen just for victory. He knows he's not in championship contention. Whoa, buddy.
The background, Jared, watching the background, I wasn't sure. We saw Eric Gordon and Jimmy Henderson getting into each other. Henderson needs to be getting into the match with Casper Janssen, not into a fight with his teammate. It is Henderson who's in P3 in the number 44. Sweeps through the right-hander. You can see the different, I think they've got different coloured rear wings they have. Yeah, so Henderson has the white rear wing and the white roof scoop. And Eric Gordon has got the luminous orange rear wing. So Janssen now, I'd go Joker. If Bakkerud doesn't, we know how quick Casper Janssen is. He's checking up early. Watch Janssen turn right. Goes in, a little bit of understeer on the way in. Nearly gets picked up behind there. Gordon coming in hot.
Yeah, Janssen almost got taken out by Gordon. But keep in mind, 6 laps. That's a lot of laps, a lot of room, a lot of time to make up. So don't count out Casper Janssen just yet. Lane Bakkerud, he is looking super fast right now. As you said, just whipped through that chicane, late braking, just threading the needle. Let's see how he handles that Yokohama Tire Joker lap.
Jimmy Henderson just done the fastest lap, so Henderson now has a little bit of space up to Lane Bakkerud. If he gets close to Bakkerud, expect Henderson to Joker too, but of course then he can't do the opposite tactics to Casper Janssen. In an ideal world for him, Bakkerud will respond now and go in. So if Bakkerud goes in to try and cover off Casper Janssen, which he's going to do, so Lane Bakkerud trying to cover off Casper Janssen, can he get back out in front and hold on to it? And then that gives Henderson the chance to take the win. Now Henderson can deny Casper Janssen, but I think, say, Casper's got to be P3 or above to take the championship. It's unlikely, but Lane Bakkerud here could cause him problems.
Crazier things have happened as we are only on lap 2 of 6, so a lot of time still to be ticked off on the victory here and that championship up for grabs. So you can see the 44 there. That is Jimmy Henderson, who is out front, who is the only true contender to go against Casper Janssen. It bears repeating in the overall North American Championship using all the track.
We haven't seen whether Bakkerud came out or not. No, Bakkerud's behind. So Lane Bakkerud's come out 3 seconds behind us. You're looking at Jimmy Henderson. Now, if I were Henderson, I might stay out a bit longer because it's 15.1 and he goes in now. I would have maybe stayed another couple of laps, Jared, to see if you can get that gap a bit bigger before you go. 15.1 might have been enough, but it's 9.8 as they go into the split at the back, and I'm pretty sure Casper Janssen, who's just done the fastest lap as well, is going to take it back. Look at that, slots it through the chicane, very little inputs on the steering, loads of pace on the exit.
You can see how chopped up the track is getting to going into that Joker lap. So every driver's losing a lot of speed. They go over that small little speed bump and just roller on that big bank going into the big jump.
Tidily done. Janssen's been bang on at that all weekend. In first practice, he buttered the landing on the jump on the very first lap. He's been nudging the inside corner with that front left fender as well as he's come through. Another fastest lap for Janssen, 8.7 seconds. Eric Gordon the leader, but when he jokers, which he might do now, Casper Janssen going to inherit the lead. As Gordon carries on. Go on, Eric. Hold on to the lead for as long as you can.
Yeah, just keep putting in the miles and maybe do it on that last lap. I mean, just act like you are literally the leader, but Casper Janssen, you can see closing on that gap.
Eric Gordon, look, if you look back at the gaps behind him to Jimmy Henderson, Lane Michaela, they're 12, 13 seconds back. He'll be hoping they get into each other, and Eric then, if he gets a couple of good laps in, could maybe come out in P2, which would be a great result for him. 3 cars running in his back 40 motorsport team. Drone popping up over the crest there with Casper Janssen, who's looking odds on here for the title.
So Lane Michaela all the way in that rear position. Unfortunately, on that first lap, he was put down a seriously blazing pace, but unfortunately, I think lost some time.
Look at the way Janssen's moving the car around, Jared. He's got it right underneath him, 6.1. He's eating Eric Gordon's lead alive here. Coming up, watch again, late on the brakes, so perfectly straight on the brakes. That's the way to brake as late as you can. Tiny little input, Bosch, gone.
Yep, quick little stutter step through that chicane with another bail added from yesterday, and the chicane removed from the big bank from yesterday to today. The white flag is out, and now we're going to see Gordon go in, and with that only 5.2 seconds, we know that the delta is almost more than double, or it's more than double that. So Casper Janssen's going to take the lead again on paper.
Janssen into the right-hander, accelerating across now onto the back straight. Swedish driver came from a karting background last year, stormed to the NRX Next title. He did a brilliant job. Eric Gordon going to slide off to the right-hand side here. But you guys need to be watching out for this man. Casper Janssen coming through in the blue and white machine run by Olsberg's MSE. He's going to be your NRX Next North American champion. I think you can see by the size of the gap that he is a class act. Checkered flag for Janssen and the championship title up and over the crest. Fantastic.
Well done by Casper Janssen, your North American champion. He gets the victory here and just icing on the cake. So Casper Janssen locks up the North American Championship with kind of a, as you say, a bit of a rough start.
Yeah.
Now goes into it, and now is very dominant.
I don't think he would have thought he was going to win last year, Jared. That's the thing. He's probably come here last year thinking, I'll go and have a crack at it. He wins it. You're a young driver. Suddenly, oh my God, I've won it. Then you're the guy with the target on the back. The ambitions change, Oh, I've won it. I want to carry on with it. It was tough for him at the start of this season, but I think he's back to where he was at the end of last year with a double win here in Calgary and a championship title to boot. Mega.
Yeah, well done by Casper Janssen. It seemed that Lane Michaela he just found the special sauce. He got out of the gate.
Yeah.
He seemed to gap him, but unfortunately...
We thought he'd lost the start, didn't we?
I know,
and then came back.
So there it is. Casper Janssen gets the win here in Calgary and then gets the overall North American Championship. Jimmy Henderson, Michaela, and Gordon are following him up in those back 40 motorsports vehicles. But the Olsbergs, Casper Janssen, Swedish driver, takes it to the top. Let's take a look at that start.
Yeah, so Michaela here looks to have lost it completely. And then they come out. Janssen clips the bank on the inside line, Jared, just the tiniest bit. Lost a ton of momentum and ended up P2. Now, he was very sensible. He followed Michaela around the first lap, got close in, and then slotted off to the Joker immediately. And that gave him loads of clear air in front. Meanwhile, behind him, if Jimmy Henderson had qualified better, we said earlier on today he needed to be, with that Joker tactic, he needed to be front row. He could have made this a bit harder for Casper, but unfortunately he didn't. He got caught up with his own teammate on lap 1, and that gave Casper just the air that he needed to get it done.
And there we see Casper Janssen. He was off to the races and just closing that gap all the way to just sub 4 seconds. As soon as Henderson went into that Joker lap, Janssen was off to that checkered flag. Congratulations to the Swedish driver. Casper Janssen grabs the checkered and the championship.
quick checks on the way back in. Now that's the weigh station, so they'll check the car's minimum weight. Remember, it's a spec class again, so they want to make sure they're not doing anything they're not supposed to do. They do things like register the tyres, check they haven't put any extra tyres on. Every little detail, thumbs up, that's a good sign. That's always that nervous, but you come and go, oh God, I hope nothing's fallen off the car. Like, don't want to end up with it underweight. Pulls it back into the pit area. Katie's there already, look, she's over there getting ready for the interview. There are cameras are going in. The rest of the cars coming into the paddock area as well.
Oliver, you want to do the honors again?
And there it is, Ollie Erickson coming over and giving Kasper Janssen a big hug. He's part of the Olsberg's team. Katie is with our winner and our North American champion.
A whole lot of celebrations being had. Oh, there we go. There's that hat. Oh, that one's a famous one. NRX Next champ Janssen. Congratulations, Kasper. This is one of those events that if you kind of look back at your career. Oh, that's very nice of you. Ollie really stepping in for the win. Kasper, if you kind of look back at your Nitro Rallycross career, in the driver's seat when you first started, how much did you imagine that you'd be winning the NRX Next championship?
I mean, this is so big to win this a second year in a row, and yes, this is amazing, and do it again, and same feeling, and yeah, it's just unbelievable.
You had no idea a cowboy with look was going to be your thing here in Calgary. As it relates to that particular race, you looked so smooth. Car control was there, even coming over that jump. How much confidence did you have in that seat, thinking you'd be taking home the championship here today?
I mean, I take no mistake, just drive it through and don't do that more than you can, and yeah, just do what I can, and yeah, it's work.
Kasper Janssen, congratulations, not only a winner here in Calgary, but the NRX Next champion.
A-Shock, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation. Yokohama Tire, make every drive a performance. Tourism Calgary, we can't wait to welcome you. Start exploring at visitcalgary.com. Oh, well, I was just talking to Fraz. I said, hey, good thing you're here. We're going to talk about Phoenix. You had a great Phoenix. And what did you say?
I don't want to talk about Phoenix.
I don't want to talk about. And why don't you want to talk about Phoenix?
We had some DNFs and yeah, I thought we were going to be talking about LA.
Well, we can talk about LA.
You know what? You need to. This is okay. Go ahead and lie down. Let's have a therapy session. You need to accept your failures and then build from that. This is a foundation, Fraz.
That's for sure.
And you have done a good job of that, man. 3 TQs, 2 back-to-back.
Hat trick.
What's that?
Hat trick.
Hat trick, baby. Yeah. That's great. And
first driver ever with 3 in Nitro Rallycross. There was 3 or 4 of you on 2 TQs, maybe 5, and you're the first one to get 3 TQs.
No, it's I think it was. When did I get the first TQ was LA.
I can look it up.
Yeah, and then after that, that was when we got the belt. The belt just came out, and I looked at Joe. I said, Joe, I'm not giving you back this belt. And so we got the deal. Whoever has the most TQs at the end of the year is keeping that belt. So that is like.
So that's the aim. He just
there's two more. There's two more, dude. Don't count your belt before they hatch. You know. So all right. Well, you didn't love Phoenix. You love LA, and we're going back to LA. So guess what? You might hold on to that belt. But let's go ahead and pick the scab for our man Fraser McConnell. Let's go to Phoenix and let's take a look back.
The Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park in Phoenix, Arizona hosted round 5, the first time ever Nitro Rallycrossers raced under the lights. The reigning champion Travis Pastrana was determined to challenge Larson's lead in the standings and fought his way to the battle bracket final.
It's Ollie Bennett will try to take down Travis Pastrana. Here we go. Let's send it for our final battle bracket. Travis Pastrana and Ollie Bennett. Travis Pastrana gets the jump, and quite a jump he gets.
So Bennett, though, remember, Jared, is one of the few people who actually managed to pass. So he got alongside Robin Larson and managed to pass him underneath the Asian Energy gap jump. But here he's Luke T and Travis up for a similar move, going for the inside line. Coming in hot, puts some rotation on the car, just avoids the rear of the 199.
All right, Travis Pastrana over the rollers. Meeke, how is the track transforming right now? I mean, obviously, you know, Ollie Bennett is your teammate, but talk about about the track and how dynamic it is? I mean, this is your first time racing here, correct?
Yeah.
What do you make of
on
it?
a full dirt track like this, hard pack, but the guys are prepping it between every race, so generally it's in really good condition for the first lap, you know, and then but these ruts develop, and we've seen quite a few tires being pushed off the rims and stuff, so you have to be careful towards the end of the race, but now the track's pretty smooth. You know?
Ollie Bennett is piling the pressure on here. Chris, how impressed have you been with Ollie? Because, you know, he'd be the first person to admit he's not you or Jenson Button. He's a guy who's, you know, coming up and trying to learn to be on the same page. But I think at Glen Helen and here he's taken a huge step.
Yeah, definitely Glen Helen. Look, here he goes again. He's able to put the car in the right place and pass.
Oh, the inside!
He's going to get him.
Oh!
The door opens on Travis Pastrana's driver's hand side. So Ollie Bennett gets aggressive, and unfortunately, you see Ollie Bennett has to back off, and I think that's the right approach. You know, comes in, little love tap, a hate tap, regardless, a tap nonetheless.
But Ollie seems a really good pace here. If he could just get up alongside Travis, he hasn't.
Nearly did a Robin Larson on him, didn't he? But couldn't quite get inside. Bit of discussion in the paddock going on between people as to whether or not they thought Larson's move was on in that semi-final. Either way, it is Bennett who's in. He's sideways. He'll have lost a lot of time there.
He quite possibly has a puncture. No. He seems to be dropping well back.
It was very sideways, wasn't it? How sideways?
Yeah, maybe that back left. I think you might be right. So Pastrana gaining more ground over Ollie Bennett.
Is that rear left off? No, I don't know if it is.
Still good speed, huh?
Just too much throttle then maybe on the exit of that last corner before coming onto the straight. He's too far back now. Final lap, Jared, and look, doesn't matter. P2, his best performance in qualifying until this point was P8. So I think shout out definitely to Ollie Bennett for a huge step up, both at Glen Helen and here.
Well, here goes Travis Pastrana. A couple more turns for his first TQ of the season. This being round 5, a doubleheader weekend in Arizona, and Travis Pastrana kicks it off with his first top qualifier position. So Travis Pastrana and the Power Plus Vermont sports car gets that #1 spot. He's going to hold the belt. He'll get the TQ sticker on his window. Top qualifier award.
The battle brackets in the bag. It was time for multi-car racing. In Heat 1, Kevin Erickson had a fantastic start from row 2. The ensuing three-way fight between him, Larson and Fraser ended in a photo finish victory for Kevin. Travis Pastrana, the top qualifier, rode his momentum to a Heat 2 victory, but not before Chris Meeke gave him a run for his money. In semi-final 1, Larson showed good, clean racing to earn his spot in the final, closely followed by Ollie Erickson. Semi-final 2 continued the trend of competitive racing as Meeke, McConnell and Martell battled it out, but the rally driver showcased his superior pace and took the win. Bakkerud, second in the standings, found himself in uncharted waters as he started his first last chance qualifier of the season. Unfortunately for him, he wouldn't get the flag either, courtesy of a confident performance by Martell. With the sun setting in Phoenix, it was time for the first Nitro Rallycross final under the lights.
We are ready to do a special delivery all up in your cerebellum. Nitro, let's go, baby. On that front pole is Travis Pastrana, Kevin Erickson. Who's going to get the whole shot? Here we go.
Loads of wheel spin from all the cars. Pastrana's got away really nice. He's got to nail it onto that inside line now, Jared. Kevin Erickson trying to go all the way around the outside. It's Meeke who's looking to come up alongside. Pastrana was worried Meeke would be there, and he's right there in behind him. Oh, Erickson spins in the background over the crest, goes sideways. McConnell hits him. Bakkerud gets up into P5. Erickson going to spin the car around. Out front is Pastrana, but it's his nemesis Meeke who's right behind him, and Larson too looks up the inside of the Englishman.
Well done there. Oh, and look at that.
Larson.
Look at Larson gets into the bank there on the 8-shot gap jump. So Meeke in second, as you said, TP Meeke, that's where it's at right now. Ollie Erickson jumps up to third. Travis Pastrana takes the Yokohama tire joke lap. Austin Meeke goes to take the traditional lap as Ollie Erickson follows him in.
I think Meeke changed his mind there, Jared. I'm not 100%, but it looked like he dived on the brake, back on the gas, back on the brake again. He doesn't want to follow Travis in. It's hard to pass here. You've got to have an alternate strategy. He needs to joker on a different lap. He's now got to close down as much as he can. There he is. Coming in hot around the outside. He's already on the back of him. He's up the inside of him. Chris Meeke's alongside Travis Pastrana over the A-Shock Energy gap jump. Meeke is really challenging here.
Ooh, Meeke looks like he cased the landing on that. You saw him jump up and over that step up, and Meeke cases it, and Meeke shuts it down. He cased that landing on the step up. It shocked the system, and he comes to a halt. Look at that. Ollie Erickson, Bakkerud now jumps up. Pastrana's got a lot of clean air, but Bakkerud challenging Ollie Erickson. It looks like he gets up into that second position. Keep in mind, Bakkerud came from that back row, going in into the Joker lap. Looks like it is Kevin Erickson. No, Ollie Erickson, excuse me. Ollie Erickson goes in. Pastrana out front. And this is kind of what we expected. The TQ gutted for me.
Oh, we've been robbed of a great race. That's why I'm gutted, Jared, because when Travis came out of the Joker, Chris was already on his 6 o'clock, and I mean on it. They were rubbing bumpers in turn 1. If he'd have gone Joker on lap 2, I think he could have got him. And as you said, we saw him case the jump, and it's broken the car. So
right there, that is where Meeke. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. Is that Fraz? I believe that's Fraser McConnell there. He's got a bit of a nose job. But look at the gap that Travis Pastrana has over Conor Martell. That's 2.6 seconds between Pastrana and Martell. Martell now hitting that fast lap. Yeah, look at that. Hey, Kevin Erickson, I mean, he went sideways. We didn't even talk about that. Sideways over the jump. He's retired. He is a DNF. What are we looking at here?
I wasn't sure if Larson's got a puncture in the background. Might have pushed the tyre off the rim. Where is he now? Is Larson coming through? No, that's Fraser McConnell with the hood hanging off the car. At the minute, it's a 1-2 for Vermont Sports Car. So this is a great result coming down to the merge now. And Martell gets in front of Bakkerud. So Bakkerud's there. He's coming under pressure now from Erickson as well. But yeah, 1-2 for Vermont Sports Car. But 2 laps still to go, Jared. Everybody who's still in contention is joking. Kevin Erickson's out. So that's as a result of the spin on the first lap over the jump as well.
Meeke and Erickson are out. Also, I want to point out Fraser McConnell. He is crab walking that car over jumps. I mean, that car is absolutely beat up, but he continues on. Pastrana Martell, as you said, Vermont Sports Car 1 and 2, the Power Plus vehicle out front, and then the My Energy Excite Vermont Sports Car. Conor Martell there in second. Bakkerud, he's in third. Ollie Erickson, Fraser McConnell, Robin Larson are points leader all the way back in the back in sixth.
He's losing time. He's lost another 1.7 seconds. I don't know what's happened to Larson, but this is not his day. So Bakkerud managing to flip around his fortunes here. He dragged himself into the back of the grid, and at the minute he's on for a podium. Would be a brilliant result, but he's got to fend off the attention of Ollie Erickson. He's only 0.4 of a second behind, and Erickson will have to pass on track if he wants to. As in the background, you can see another car crabbing over the start-finish jump. So was that McConnell again?
I believe that was McConnell. So what's interesting here too, let's point it out. We're talking about Robin Larson. He hasn't been any worse than second place of all the previous rounds. What I like about this as commentators, it changes the dialogue. You know, it's not just the Robin Larson show who's out front. It changes things up. With Pastrana getting the mix, he had a lackluster, he's sitting 6th in points coming to this round. He had a lackluster Glenn Helen. He's been kind of, peaks and valleys. But obviously when he went to Minnesota, it all came to fruition.
It's going to be interesting to see, isn't it, if he can carry that momentum through to round 6, Jared. We've got Saturday, Sunday standard race weekend still to come after running under the lights. And Pastrana's got another lap to go. He's got to get this done. Conor Martell, this would be an amazing result for him. Martell's best result this season has been P6.
Wow.
Suddenly he's going to get up on the podium, and a Bakkerud for the back row. That's just a hell of a story.
And this is also another story there for Martell, because Martell has been beat up so much. He's had terrible luck.
Yeah.
It's just this just goes to show you, like I said, it bears repeating. You can't win in battle brackets. You can't win in qualifying. Martell got into a tussle with the tires, but he fights it off.
He nudged the tires.
He was dicing with it. And Pastrana keeps on keeping on, and Conor Martell is right there in the wings. He's shadowing him. He looks like he's his wingman. Bakkerud sitting there in third. Martell maybe challenging Travis there a little bit. And here we go with the checkered flag. Travis Pastrana gets it. The checkered flag is Travis Pastrana. Conor Martell there in second. Bakkerud, Erickson, Larson, and McConnell. So 1, 2, and 3. Like you said, the best position for Martell is 6th up until now. He gets second place. Thumbs up for Travis.
Hell yeah. Pastrana becomes the first double winner in Nitro Rallycross this year.
That's right.
His teammate Martell on the podium for the first time this year. So plenty of firsts. Pastrana with a great drive there.
Well, Andrew Coley, as you were saying earlier, we saw a dominant performance out of Chris Meeke on that semifinal with Travis Pastrana. And as he told me, he nailed his braking on the chicanes. Well, Kevin Erickson took notice of that, telling me that he's beating everyone's butt on these chicanes. And another concern that Kevin has with this final is the fact that Kevin's starting on the outside. So I said, if he has you in the chicane and he has a better start than you, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to do 2 brilliant laps and try to beat him coming out of the Joker.
we go then. This is where we are at, coming up to the final of our battles today on day 2. Different outcome for it is that whoever wins this will be on pole for the super final. Meeke, Pastrana, Erickson and Martell are in that super final, but it's Meeke and Kevin Erickson who will fight for the pole.
All right, so here we are with the finals. We have that of Chris Meeke and Kevin Erickson. Join us in the booth. Two gentlemen that not in the finals, and you're not in the final 4, are you?
The B final.
The B final.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it's at. You're in the Super 5.
Yeah.
Okay, the
That's
Super
what we're aiming
Cinco.
for.
The special group.
The special group. You got Fraser McConnell and Robin Larson joining us here. Looking forward to seeing you guys racing that for Group of 5. That's the most cars we're going to see on the track here in Calgary. But let Andrew do his thing. Watch this guy get wound up. Watch his face turn red with excitement. Watch this. He gets so pumped. Watch this.
I love the fact that, look at the lack of blinking. He gets to the point so your eyes are drying out, releases the handbrake. Chris Meeke's got a great start on the inside line. Kevin Erickson has to give best to him, so it's Meeke that leads immediately. I think we can pretty much guess what the tactics will be for Kevin Erickson, unless Chris Meeke does what Pastrana did earlier in dummies and goes up early. On board with Kevin Erickson, big input through here. Wait for that big dip bump on the exit. So many, but there it is. Settle the car again, back on and then up to the jump, and they're going to check up for the jump. Look at the spray here as the sun's up now. Nicely done by both drivers. So Meeke leads by half a second.
Sun is shining. Robin Larson, I called him out yesterday. He said on his dashboard he actually hit it by putting up a graphic that doesn't show any of the analytics. FYI, Fraz, have you ever thought about doing that?
We did. My screen is very dark.
All right.
Wanting to give anything away, are they? Guys, what are you thinking about the start there?
Please.
Interested to see if Kevin follows him. We haven't seen anyone. All right, he's going to stick to what everyone's normally doing. But, normally Travis was the first one that introduced following people. Forget the joke. I'm just going to follow him and try pass you.
And then this morning, he was no ice left there at all. This morning, he went to the Joker first of all. And of course, then the guy behind us to check up. It compromises their lap. Clever stuff. So, right, so this is going to come down to Joker then and who's quickest in it. Chris Meeke had a lead of 0.5 when Kevin Erickson went in on this lap. Watch for Meeke now and how committed he is. Handbrake into the left-hander, rides the bank a little bit. Bits hanging off the back of the FC1X that was taped up when he went out. They've just changed the cooling fans on it. And now the WRC Legend's going to turn right.
Kevin's
and
gone
slide
purple.
to the Joker. 18.9, that's a big gap. But of course, the conditions have changed in the Joker. Robin, what's your thoughts on grip level in there?
It looks like Kevin's trying, but it's gonna be hard. Like when you take the start, you have already a second ahead. So me and Fraz talked about it. It's really hard.
19.7. Yeah. I mean, that's a Grand Canyon of a gap
Looks like
right
Chris
now.
also
Chris is going to take it all the way to the top, and this is some great confidence here for Chris Meeke as we are getting excited to see. Again, we're going to have the Super. We're going to have the Final 4, the Super 4.
Chris Meeke wins the final battle to go pole in the Super Final. Kevin Erickson P2. Big smiles from Meeke. He knows where it's at. He knows what's going on.
The Meeke monster match. There it is. So throwing up his hands in victory. Congratulations, Chris Meeke. Well executed from start to finish. It seemed like he had it yesterday, but some great runs there. And our fans, you can see the girl. She sees herself. Look at her. She's all hyped. She's looking like Chris Meeke just won right there. There's Kevin Erickson.
That's 2 days in a row, Jared, where he's lost the final battle. That's pretty gutting, but I have been impressed by Kevin's renewed focus and on performing. Like he came back. Fans like it too. He's been bang on the money, Kevin has. So it will be a good final later on today for this crowd.
Taking a look at this start here, you talked about it, and just too much to make up for Kevin Erickson. Meeke running healthy. He slammed earlier. I don't know if you guys saw it. He actually broke his back right corner. He slammed so hard. He's the one, and let's talk about attrition of vehicles, man. From UK to now, I think they've taken a good licking on their maiden voyage, their maiden season, the FC1X. A pretty durable machine, because some people think about electric or new car. It's held up pretty well overall.
For sure. I mean, when we started in Linden Hill, everyone was kind of taking it easy on the jump. But on these, since the second event, everyone's just been jumping the flat. Great machine, the FC1.
And as we get the insight from the drivers, and I'll tell you what, the energy of everything in the paddock is absolutely really, really cool. Again, great to have Robin Larson, of course, Fraser McConnell, Andrew Coley. The party continues here in Calgary.
So you might not know where we're busting up in here, but basically we have counts in our ears. The producers come in and they go 10, 9, and you have to hit the count. Then some of the world goes off to an advert break, blah, blah, blah. So Fraz is chatting away, and in comes the 10 count. Me and Jared then have to politely, especially if we're on air, like things like nudge, we look, mate. And Fraz, bosh.
Yeah,
we're giving us a count now. He smashed it, Jared, didn't he?
I mean, stick to driving, but we'll stick to announcing.
I was impressed.
Yeah, but the party's been really awesome. It's been really good.
We're loving being in here. This is when they moved us from a view of the track, I was a bit like, man, I'm not sure. But when we're down with you guys, and you can come and jump in with us. It's great fun. The track is looking tricky now, to be fair. We knew that would happen as the sun came up, temps came up. Got a couple of races to come. Five cars in the Super 5 and then 4 cars in the Super Final. What are you thinking?
The starts are going to be really fast from the back rows. First row has been taking all of the starts and tearing up the snow and ice. So you're going to see some slingshots coming from the back rows for sure.
Robin, your thought overall? That's where we were pointing out that where Meeke actually broke his suspension. Saw him kick it over, landed off access, and I think that's what really caused the damage.
You're happy there, are you, mate? That's what you hate to see, isn't it?
Hate to see it.
Yeah, you almost went off on that section right there, bud.
You had a spin there on day one, didn't you, in practice?
No, we didn't. No.
Yes, you did, Fraz. Yes, you did. Was it a similar landing to that?
It was,
pushing the envelope.
Yeah, break it into the jump and, some tires on ice, some tires on snow.
Here he is. Should we give him a round of applause when he gets out?
Hey!
Go on, Chris!
Hey, what is this? Chris, what's this? What is this? Well done, Chris. Meeke wins the bracket battles, but guess what? We got the Super 4 and, of course, the Super Cinco.
Good stuff.
The paddock here is full of energy. You can see everybody cheering on each other. Katie Osborne's back there. And, of course, another member of our broadcast team, Street Bike Tommy. What's he got? Food? Has he got the clown outfit on? He's got a bull. What do you have, Tommy? What are you cooking?
Stealing popcorn.
I've made my way out here to the elites, where the important people hang out and where the air is crisp. I don't know if you've noticed this little power divider where we have separation from the haves and have-nots. But this is where, if you spend a little bit more money, you can be a little bit more comfortable. You can notice the fine leather recliners. Sir, what do you own? Do you own an oil field?
No.
Do you guys own cattle industry? Is that where you guys? You guys are killing it up here. We got the finer refined foods. I can show you around VIP. Oh man, what is that? Is that a temperature difference? That's an atmospheric difference of where. I think I'm going to take my jacket off. Oh, what's this? Oh, is this a chef? Is this a chef with finely prepared desserts? Have we seen? They sparkle. Look, get down on that. Look at the sparkly strawberry chocolate dessert. Oh, it's so fancy. This is where all the magic happens. You have your own, regulated temperature. You got delicious foods, fresh apples. You got really nice chairs, tables. You got the TV, so you don't even, if you don't even want to turn your head, it's so luxurious you don't even have to turn your head. You can watch the race from anywhere. Real cutlery up here. Oh, and I don't know if you notice, but we have a Nitro background where stars like Fraser McConnell, Fraser. Look at him. He's so special, he just walks around. Look at him. He's a driver. He's a real driver. You can just hang out here in VIP with real drivers. So spend the money, treat your family, come see us at the next one.
Yeah, we have another real driver here, Tommy, as well. Chris Meeke, congratulations on the Battle Brackets win. First, though, we got to see your little Meeke Monster mashup. What was that all about?
I don't know. My spotter keeps winding me up on my Irish accent. He's an Essex boy from South England, so he came on this radio and he said, I'd like to apologise. Absolutely, no, but a bit of a Conor McGregor thing. But anyway, they're winding me up about my Irish accent.
Oh, well, a lot of fun to watch, and obviously it was a great battle for you as well. You talked before in the semis that was one of the best that you've had in your rallycross career. How would you rank this one?
Yeah, today we were quickest in qualifying this morning, time practice, which sets you up for your heats or the battle brackets, and I've won every race. But with a big change for today, for me, I've nailed my starts. I was struggling in Montreal with my starts on ice. I was trying to drive it like a combustion engine car. These EVs are different, so I have a lot to unpack and unlearn. But the starts are clicking today, and I've been able to get the run on everyone. So yeah, now pole position for the A final. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Really happy for the team, because you know they put everything into this. We struggled so badly in Montreal. We come away there, you know, but bounce back ability, that's what it's all about.
Well, there's going to be a whole lot of racing. Congratulations today on this, but you still got something to show here.
And here we are taking a look at the Group E Super 5. So these gentlemen are not in contention of a podium finish here at the Calgary Nitro Rallycross Stampede. But you're looking at Robin Larson on pole. You got Fraser McConnell. Second row, Ollie Bennett and Oliver Erickson. And finally, on that back row, Andreas Bakkerud in the DRR JC RX cartel. So you got, again, a lot of countries being represented there. And here is the Super Final. Super Final 4, Group E on pole, Chris Meeke. We just had some words with him, or Katie did. We've been talking and rapping out with him all day, just a jovial young man. And then you got Kevin Erickson on the front row, and then on the back row, it's a Vermont sports car party back there with Travis Pastrana and Connor Martell. Those gentlemen are going to potentially get the car on the box, the top of the podium, that is. The conditions earlier on Thursday, you can see the ice right there. It's slick. It looked more of like an ice rink. Now it's looking more of like a toboggan. You know, you want to sled down it. Like I said, more shaved ice as opposed to ice cubes.
It was super fun, and when we arrived, everywhere was slightly icy. I still enjoy occasional sideways excursions, and the temperatures just came up big time. It was so cold the day before we arrived, but they've done such a good job of keeping the track going. Organisers have done their best to make sure that everybody's seen some action here. It's a sellout crowd. And yeah, I think it's been awesome.
And you can see this course, the track layout. You've seen the Yokohama Tire Joker lap. We're the Jokers up here, but another member of our team, we've been rapping out with her all day, down to Katie Osborne. Katie.
Yeah, Kevin Erickson here is a little debrief on that battle brackets final. Now, you knew that Chris had a better start than you in the start line going into it, and you also knew he was pretty good at those chicanes. How would you kind of rank your driving style in that battle final?
I think it was good. I felt quick in the first lap. But I learned something in this run. So, you know, we have a couple laps more, and I will not voice exactly what I've learned, but I will push in the final.
So you're telling me you have a secret about the final coming up?
I don't know. Probably other people have found it as well, but we will see.
As it relates to the final, it's going to be a pretty good solid lineup between you, Connor, Travis, and Chris again. What's it going to be like having 4 cars on track?
For sure fun. I mean, for sure fun for the fans. You know, me and Chris has been 1-2 in the qualifying both days. So, but you know, you can never count out, you know, Travis and Connor. So, but I really look forward to 6 laps with Chris.
I just want to know what that secret is, guys.
All right, an update in the action. So we have our Super Cinco, as I'm calling, the Super 5, and our Super Final 4.
Indeed.
So an update in the protocol and the platform, excuse me, the what am I trying to say here? Jeez.
What's
the format,
happen?
thank you. What's going to happen here? The
like
format. Haven't done this before. You can take the Joker lap on your first lap.
Good.
You could take your Joker lap on the first lap. So I think that's a good application of that into that format.
We mentioned yesterday the reason they took that out is because it's such a long run down from where the start is that potentially if you're in a train, particularly with the snow, we weren't sure about the roofs with the temperatures, and the guy, say, P2 or 3 goes, they could get collected by people going into the banking really fast. So they stuck the chicane in, and we actually said yesterday, didn't we? You know what, with the chicane it could work. Somebody was listening, Jared, because they've said, let's go. And with more cars on track, I think it's really important that tactic could play out massively. You think how long it is. You could joker from P5 on lap 1, bang in 4 or 5 great laps, and come out potentially and take the win right at the merge. So do not miss these 2 finals.
That's going to be fun.
It's going to be sick.
That's going to change things up. Yeah, like let's go. Yeah, and you know, we're going to have more laps. This is the most cars we're going to see on the track through the entirety of this weekend. Up until this point, yes, we've seen 4 Next cars, but we have not seen 4 and then 5 previous to that of the Group E vehicles. So you can see just some of the highlights of the day and of the weekend. Meeke comes out on top. You know, Bakkerud slamming in. You can see just
all the
absolute
inputs.
Weapon,
There's that one camera on the infield, which is, I'm not sure it's in, no, I think it's inside the second turn after the jump, and you just see as they transition the car, we're looking right in down the lens into it. Fantastic insight into how much. And the onboard with Kevin Erickson behind Chris in that last one. How many inputs, Jared, just to get it into that long sweeper? It's high speed. You make a mistake there, and you end up like a long way into the wall. So great driving from these guys, particularly this. Chris Meeke took the win in that battle with broken suspension.
Yeah, and you know, shoot, they might just lower the cars next year and you know, just roll over the jump, just slam them, and you know, just you saw how he's like a rap video. Ice Cube, you know, today was a good day. Ooh, wow. Yeah, so it's been a good day for a lot of different people, and it wants to be a great day for KB forever. And Travis, you heard him in car saying, "Let's get this car on the box, top of the podium." It would be a great celebration to see Travis smile, and then of course that KB throwback livery in honor of KB forever. Fraser McConnell, we were having a who with him, weren't we?
He was just so, you know, he saw himself get beaten at the start. He hated it. He hated it. He does no drivers like looking back. I don't want to watch Phoenix. Phoenix sucked. Don't want to watch LA. No, you missed that, mate. We watched that earlier. Like, we're looking back on some of our best finals from this year, coming towards the end of the year as well. 10 rounds, 2 to go coming up in Glen Helen. Yeah, can't wait. It's a good track for battles and racing and passing.
Taking a just look over our shoulder again, the most recent victor in those battle brackets. It's really cool to see. You know, you can see him picking all the dirt out of the spikes and seeing what's going on. But again, seems that you know what? Let's throw it to Katie, who's with TP.
Well, I'm kind of with TP, and in fact, TP is up with the stand for the stands, doing exactly what Travis Pastrana does at these events. How many autographs have you signed today?
I was about 4 hours yesterday and a couple today, but I tell you what, it's so awesome to see the fans here. It's so awesome to see the enthusiasm. You know, the track, it's a little bit limited, but man, these guys are putting on a great show, and we just got to figure out how to get faster than Meeke.
You talk about that limited track. We got other people climb up. This is a great venue for that. You talk about that limited track. 4 cars on track. How is that going to change the game?
4 cars changes it a lot. It's very difficult to pass. There's just the track builders. Everyone did such a great job, but the track went from 50 feet wide to 30 feet wide to 20 feet wide, and we're down to the pavement. You can see the concrete actually in the Joker. So it's just really difficult to not make mistakes out there. So when you feel like you're going too slow, that's kind of about as good as you're going to get. I just don't know how Meeke is still driving so aggressively and keeping it right in that line, because with the tires that we have, these Yokohamas, they got big spikes, but the second you're off, and that's what, the last round, I realized the same thing. Like, you try to make up any ground and you just get sucked in.
Well, thank you, Travis. We'll let you get back to the autographs. It's an interesting thing what's happening with these guys.
Here it is, the Super 5 final. These contenders are going for bragging rights, as it would be. Nobody's going to get some hardware. They're not going to be on the podium, but you can see these RX Cartel vehicles, notably Robin Larson. He is going for a championship. Will he be crowned in Glen Helen? It's a doubleheader in California, St. Patrick's Day weekend. It's going to be a barn burner. Fraser McConnell doesn't like Arizona, but he does like California.
Yeah,
he's had some success there.
Weekend.
Yeah, the perfect
TQ
weekend.
and win.
Look at 3 TQ stickers. He's the one that has the most TQs this year, but it's all about conversion. Can you convert that to a victory? Ollie Erickson, he got it done in Montreal.
He did win it last time. He's had some good starts. He's inside Fraser, but Fraser on that front row should have a big advantage. There's Bennett, there's Bakkerud right at the back. I think if nobody jokers in front of him, Andreas will go joker immediately, get himself out of that traffic and go, but I'll be surprised if somebody doesn't go from P3 or P4, Jared. We're going to see. We're going to find out. Here we go then. Robin Larson and Fraser McConnell on the front row. It's McConnell with the pole, Bennett and Erickson, and Andreas Bakkerud down in P5.
All right, the most vehicles we're going to see on track here. 5 vehicles at the Calgary Stampede. 10 seconds to go. Coley, do the honors.
McConnell in contention for P2 in the championship against Bakkerud. Larson leading the series. Remember, this one not for series points, this one just for bragging rights. How much risk will they take when they know the championship's going to be closed down in a couple of weeks' time? We're about to find out. 5 cars away for the first time. Good start. Ollie Erickson from the second row immediately looking to try and get inside. Fraser McConnell's there though. Larson shuts the door. McConnell's super late on the brakes into the chicane. Larson goes Joker immediately. He's gone in. That's going to stop anyone behind, and Bakkerud goes with him. So both the RX Cartel cars have gone in. Good tactics from them.
Yeah, I think that's great. We saw that with Travis Pastrana on a shorter amount of laps, but we have 6 total laps in this race. There's a lot of time and a lot of time that can be made up.
Something really clever there, Jared, as well, is by checking up, which Larson had to do to go Joker, he's gapped the whole field behind him, so Fraser McConnell has a huge lead. I think Fraz will stay out, but it will depend a bit, I guess, on what the split is immediately off this first lap. I reckon he'll stay out.
All right, so out front, Fraser McConnell, who was just here in the booth, as was Robin Larson. Just get some great insight. Fraser McConnell does stay out, as does Erickson and Bennett. So the RX Cartel DRR JC vehicles are there, just fighting it out between themselves.
Bakkerud's right in behind Larson. He went in a long way behind him, Jared. So I think Larson's made a mistake in the Joker lap. At the minute, the gap is plus 20.8. So that Joker is super tricky. So McConnell could go now if he wants. I know that he's got a decent gap. Look how close it is. Larson and Bakkerud as well be slowing each other down if they're getting into each other. Hard to call the tactics on this one. Bit of handbrake there from Fraser as he comes onto the back straight. All these drivers, of course, will be looking as well to be top 3 in the Super 5.
And you can see how slushy it is out there on the course. Look at, as they go through the chicane, the ruts are being created, so that's going to cause you to kind of disrupt your tires as well. And look at how rutted it is. You can see the line just being created from the RX Cartel team. Now coming through, let's see how they handle the jump. Nice job by Fraz, still out front. 1, 2, and 3 with, shoot, I mean, look at that. 22 seconds behind. Wow. And I think Larson's obviously got an issue. Did he pull off maybe?
Well, the gap's going up. We've got some interesting stuff going on with timing, and I think I know what it is, Jared. The timing loops are buried in the ice, and I think potentially we've cut down to that. So just forgive us if there's a few odd ones with the cars moving about on the leaderboard. It's where we had a gap a minute ago showing a minute back for Larson as Bennett goes into the Joker and runs the rear corner down the Armco barrier. Go on, Ollie, get stuck in. Proper sense.
Yeah,
look at Bakkerud. He's all over the back of Robin. You wonder if Bakkerud looking up the inside of Robin Larson. Has Larson got a problem with the car, maybe? Bakkerud takes the position.
He's definitely looking squirrely going to the chicane.
They're braking super early for the chicane, Jared. I think grip levels have dropped massively. Look how sunny it is now. You can see a shadow out there. Conditions are really different.
I also have to think they're not gonna sacrifice their cars.
No, absolutely not.
For the Stampede. They have championship up for grabs. It'd be great to see them go 1 and 2 for the team, but as we take a look at Kevin Erickson here.
Ollie Bennett has got out in front of both the RX Cartel machines, so Ollie Bennett has actually managed to get in front of them. So now what's the gap for him? It's 20.9 back. Do you think Fraz will go early and give himself a little bit of space in case he makes a mistake, or do you think he'll just hang on to the end? I mean, Ollie Erickson, if he doesn't go, Erickson's going to, isn't he, to try and give himself a chance of getting back?
Erickson is definitely going to go here. It'd be silly if he didn't, just because he is right there on Fraz, and he's going to try to get him. Let's see how he handles it. Fraz, I think, should stay out. Erickson goes in. What do you think?
I think you might be right. Erickson got super sideways, Jared. The grip levels have changed hugely here. The other thing is, the gravel is starting to come up in the second corner after the jump. You can look at the amount of dirt there is in the snow, and that will cause problems for these studs. You can bend the studs or break them off, then your grip levels go down again. So managing the tyres could be a bit of an issue. We head on to the final lap. McConnell leads Ollie Erickson in the Super 5. Remember, this is the runners-up final, if you like. Got the main event coming up next. Look how sideways they are.
Yeah, so Fraser McConnell, that's the RX Cartel boys. We're just jumping back and forth. The action all around this track, making history here in Calgary, the Stampede.
Erickson can't win because he hasn't Jokered alternate to Fraser McConnell.
That's the story right there. We called it. Fraser McConnell should have taken Erickson should have taken the Joker lap. Fraser should have taken it on that final one, and there it is. Looks like Fraz is going to come out on top. Ollie Erickson slides it in. Makes kind of a tight turn there. Shuts the door on himself.
Very very tricky conditions for these guys. McConnell, got the whole shot, got it done there, didn't he? Erickson's gone with him, and in fact, Jared, looks like that might have been the thing to do.
And here we go, Fraser McConnell. He is going to get the checkered flag. You can see Ollie Erickson behind him, Ollie Bennett. So, it looks like, and there is the checkered flag. So Fraser McConnell, that's Ollie Erickson there in second. Larson, Bennett, and Bakkerud still yet to cross, and there we go with Ollie Bennett. Ollie Bennett jumps up to third, and there is Robin Larson. Bakkerud, MIA, crossing the finish line. There we are with Fraser McConnell. He wins the Super Cinco, the Super 5. A couple donuts there from him.
I think the delta's gone up, Jared, to pretty much what it was when we very first started this weekend. Looks like it's gone up to about 18.
You're stuck. What? Okay. I think you have no studs, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know what he's stuck.
Did he say, so Frazzy's saying he's stuck, has he got no studs? I mean, if I have to go and drag the Jamaican out of the snow, brilliant.
All right, well, you know what? The Calgary story of cool runnings, we thought it might have come to fruition. He had that third TQ. It's just about the conversion, man. You know, California, he likes the warm weather. It comes down to the belt, you know. Again, who has the most TQs right now? Fraser McConnell does. But some waves from Andreas Bakkerud, always a showman, just a very likable character. So, again, congratulations to Fraser McConnell. Let's take a look back at what went down.
This was off the start. Yeah, like look at Erickson's start, Jared, but he nearly got alongside Fraz, didn't he? Didn't have anywhere to go. And then Larson jokering on lap 1. Larson's just come in and left immediately to go to the hauler, so I don't know what's happened there. I'm keen to go and have a look at the tyre. I said, Jared, go and have a look at do you want to go? I'm going to go.
You go.
I'm going to go.
I'll rap out about this. And as you said, Larson just got right out of the car and went straight to the pits. Wonder what's going on here. So, all right, some exciting runs here from Fraser McConnell. And guess what? We have one more party after this. That's the super final after this. 4 cars. Who's going to get the win here at the Calgary Stampede?
You know, Jared Coley, one of the things you guys were talking about is the grip changing. And Connor and I were actually talking about that grip changing earlier in the day. How did you see it change watching that race for your guys' upcoming race?
Yeah, I mean, you can see there's a lot of brown on the track, so we're getting down to the dirt, and it's going to, with 6 laps, 4 cars, it's going to change a lot. And if you can see the lip going into the Joker has a bit of metal showing, so you're going to have to be careful. So we're going to go out there and just try our best.
You mentioned earlier that your driving style was kind of a little bit all over in one of those earlier races. Do you feel like you've honed that in a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been out since then, so I'm hoping to just hit the ruts well and let those kind of control the car. That's that's going to make it happen. So.
Lastly, we were talking to Travis about the different perspective and how it is with a couple more cars on the track. What's your take on having 4 cars on the track?
I'm excited. It's been 2-on-2, and I'm ready to get physical with the boys, so let's go.
Wise words from Connor Martell.
All right, some great insight and a smile from Connor Martell. Connor, don't jump on the start, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Okay, that is absolutely hypercritical.
It's a hard no. It's a hard no.
Yeah, we saw just how critical it is to have, hit that Joker lap twice. Yeah, 6 laps, but it's just so much time to make up, especially if it's up to 18, 19 seconds. That's half an hour.
And I've been and looked at a couple of the tyres on the RX Cartel guys, and front left on both Larson and Bakkerud's car. Few studs missing. That could suggest that it's the right-hander into the Joker where they're down to the pavement, but they're by no means lost all their spikes. So, yeah, there's still some grip out there.
All right, so again, don't go anywhere. The super final is upon us. 4 cars. Who's going to get the top of the box?
So we've been joined by Andreas Bakkerud, who was out in that last one. Andreas, I came over and had a look at your Johnson poutine.
No, it looks like I love fries, French fries.
But not with gravy and cheese?
No, and they're soft. They look soft. Look,
too cold.
Look at this.
Oh dear.
Can't eat that. Not in my belly.
He's a snack expert.
Sorry,
not
dude.
in my belly. No, just put it back in. That's fine. Well, put it in the side.
Here,
there we go.
there we go.
Here, here's a serviette.
You shouldn't play with food, right?
Yeah, exactly. Andreas,
that's what your mum teaches, isn't it? Don't play with your food.
Yeah. There you were, part of the 5. Robin jumped right out of his car and walked over to the pits. Do you know what happened?
No, I don't know. I just know in the first lap we went for a joke about me and Robin, and there was no ice in the tunnel, so we killed our studs. Well done, bro.
Hello, mate. All right.
Yeah.
Ollie's
and then Ollie had a moment there, hit the hay ball. So I said, like,
we're going to watch it back, mate. We're going to watch the whole final back with you guys and whoever else turns up. Ollie Bennett's all out of breath, mate. Well done, then.
No, it was a good race. I enjoyed it.
So this is the start. So Robin checks the whole field up to go Joker, and that gave Fraz that bunch of breathing space straight away, and then you went from the back, and I thought you would go, but I wasn't sure if anyone would go in front of you.
No. So and after that, from my point of view, I was back there with Robin, but we already was empty of studs after driving on the tarmac in the tunnel. So we were basically nowhere on the grid after Joker in the first lap. When you did your Joker, you were probably 30 meters ahead of us. It was like a nice race. Were you close with Fraser and the guys? Or?
I kept with these guys for most of the lap, but I thought I had a drive shaft go. But now you've said that, it could be the studs. It was after I'd done the Joker. I was like, boys, the drive shaft's gone, gone.
There's a few missing from the front left. So he's in that corner where there's no ice left. Is that what you think it is? You've gone in there, knocked a few studs off.
And with all power in the cars, you spin the tires, you kill the studs. Here's me and Robin. We were like head to head.
You can share my mic.
All laps,
Jared's sharing his headset.
I'm sharing my headset with Ollie over here.
Sharon's carried.
Ollie, what do you think of these pieces of work over here and this race? Tell us your story. What happened?
I don't know. He didn't see us.
I didn't see him.
Did you win or?
No, Fraz. Yeah. I was close to him, but
It was rough though, wasn't it? That's what I'm thinking for the final now. I just said to Chris, the track has got really rough. I was trying to go in the grooves and
I was behind you when you hit that barrier. And I wasn't sure what you was going to do, so I was like, nah.
Ease off. Well, I went into it thinking this could be heavy, and it was literally like pinball.
Robin here, I think. No, next time.
Did they show on TV Fraz got stuck off the finish line?
Yeah, did they show? We heard on the radio.
Me and Ollie pushed him out.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
He's not stuck in there.
You dumbass.
We got you in.
Oh, you got a prize? That's awesome. Hold it up to the camera. Hold it up to the camera. Up here. Hold it up. Down there. Look there. Look at this.
What do you call that in English? Like belt?
We need,
bit of a plaque,
We share it.
Oh, here you go to the Joker, yeah?
Yeah, here's when I go, and I got stuck in this snow here.
With no tow truck.
Bit close there.
Right, Andreas, I'm going to give you. Fraser's got. Is that going to work?
Oh, nice.
Fraser's got. We got 2 more mics on one of our cameras. Let's make this work. Fraser, say something. No, we can't hear you right now.
No kissing on set.
Oh, hang on a minute. Carnage.
How rough do you think the track's going to be for these guys?
Oh, it's going to be hard.
It's more carnage here.
I feel sorry for you guys,
This is exactly what happened.
This works.
Calamity.
Yeah.
You need the hat.
Make a good stuff.
So now you're taking your Joker, right?
That mic's not working.
And I'm not sure if they're going to film the hay ball situation there.
Yeah, it got burst open, didn't it, basically?
Yeah.
It went a long way.
Yeah.
But I had quickest lap up until the hay bale, apparently.
Yeah.
Fraz, well done.
Yeah, man, it was fun. We got stuck in the end. And
what did you say on the radio? I'm stuck.
Yeah, we're stuck.
I'm a professional rallycross driver and I'm stuck.
I just started doing donuts and then the
Ollie, hand yours over to Robin just for a minute. Thanks, mate. We can't get that mic to work. There you go, Ollie. The stick mics don't work, guys. We'll ditch that. Okay, Robin, how's that for you?
Yeah, after lap 2 I just thought let's do the best of the situation and drift as much as you possibly can.
Was that an apology, or did something happen that we didn't see on track?
No, I think he passed me on the straight after I...
Oh yeah, he did. What happened there?
Gotta let him through.
You let him
once
through?
in a while.
Okay.
Yeah, you could have had me there.
Such a big hand.
Yeah. You caught up a big gap.
It's a big barn.
You caught a big gap. Yeah,
Fraz,
the donuts dug down like a foot in the snow, and then I was stuck.
Robin, you're welcome. I mean, it's kind of. Anyone want some semi-warm poutine?
I'm good. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's the gravy and cheese on the chips.
Beautiful.
That's the difference between Rob and Andreas. Andreas doesn't like soggy French fries, but Robin doesn't mind soggy French fries.
That's
like soggy French fries.
The reputation of Bakkerud and being the snack expert. This was the Joker lap then for Fraser. Fraz, how was the entry? There's no ice on that right-hander, is there?
Zero, and I mean you could hear the spikes, grinding against the asphalt.
So the spikes snapping off.
Yeah, I haven't looked, but I'm sure there's more than half.
Ollie, try that one, see if it works.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we've got Ollie Erickson.
Can you hear me? Mic check.
Yes, we can.
All right, we're back, baby.
Now it's a party.
Now we're partying. We got a Jamaican cowboy, a soggy Swede, and
That's a cool shot.
What are you, Ollie? British? Yeah. Okay, you guys stay over there.
I need to get that snow visor. It looks so.
Yeah, can't they cut in the part where Fraser gets stuck doing donuts?
Have we got anything on replays of Fraser getting stuck so we can rip into him about it?
Is that snow visor?
Yeah, there we go.
You suck, Fraser. You suck. You're supposed to be a professional driver.
Here we go. This was the
Look
one.
at you covering the boys as well. Such a lack of respect for your teammates.
I was like, I hope no one's toes. I hope no one's toes are underneath these tires.
I know. Yeah, you definitely. That would
fill those shoes with snow as well. I still have snow in my shoes.
Professional driver.
Stuck in the bank.
Professional goon.
Yeah. How many donuts did you do before you got stuck?
Half
A donut. Not even worth it. Katie, what's going on? You got a question for this bunch of Muppets?
Love the Muppets. You guys are a whole lot of fun. I was just talking to Chris. Did someone just sing the Muppet song? I was just talking to Chris, and he told me that he learned a lot while watching all of you Muppets, right? But he did say that Ollie Bennett described the track in a very particular way. Ollie, what would you say the track is as rough as?
What did I say? I'm worried now.
Boots, rough as boots. That's kind of a British
No, you mentioned.
Oh, don't forget that he swore live on air earlier, Katie.
Might not be good for
I know. I'm going to avoid swearing for him, but he did say a badger's backside, if you will.
Really?
Why did you pick a badger out of all animals to describe this track as?
I never touched a badger's backside. How do you know that? I mean,
it's a British term now.
Is it? Okay.
It is
rough as boots, I've heard. Badger's backside is a new one.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's on-air friendly.
I spelled it with 3 words, but letters even.
Here's the thing. He didn't actually say the backside. I was just trying to help Ollie out in that regard.
Oh, right. Okay. So he swore again, did he? Wow. You're giving a terrible reputation to British people.
Not best for this camera stuff.
No.
Well, you did mention that the track is really rough. Help us better understand what that's really like out there right now. We did hear there's a little metal out there. We obviously know there's a little bit of gravel. It's a lot rutted up.
Yeah, huge ruts. I don't know what you boys thought was quicker. I tried staying in them or off them. Either felt pretty terrible. So it's going to be a hard final for these guys.
Go on, Kate. Okay, sorry. Okay, I've just been told, Fraser. So you were good at TV earlier. We're just going to test you a little bit more on it. So you did something with Tommy earlier on. So you got a link to it, but like without telling everyone what you did. So you're throwing to a Tommy piece. That's what the producers told me you got to do. Let's go.
All right, earlier
down the can.
Earlier, me and Street Bike Tommy got up some trouble. Might have been in the stands, might have been out, but switch on over to Tommy. Let's see what he's up to.
Hey, make some noise! It's a treat. We got a real driver, man of the people. He's throwing out his swag. This is Jamaican swag. Get your beanies. Hey, make some noise! Make some noise, man of the people, everybody. Fraz out here just throwing merch. Yeah. We need the AR back. See, Fraz knows how to get his fans riled up. This is how you get support. Oh, I'm in the way. Look at him. Kid's got an arm on him. Not only can he drive, but he can throw. He's man of many talents. Learning how to do all kinds of sport in Jamaica. Look at them. These kids are killing it. God, Calgary's awesome. The fans here are insane. Even just such a great atmosphere here. You got drivers coming down, hanging out with everybody. I mean, look at the crowd. Like, do you get this close to the actual athletes at any other event? I think not, my friends. I think not. Well, enjoy the show. We got the best vibes here in all of Calgary. We're having a good time. Back to you guys.
The Super Final is upon us, and we have a packed house here at Calgary Stampede. Jared Dienda, Andrew Coley, your tour guides, and we had a star-studded cast both here in the booth on the track. NRX Next. Of course, Fraz wins the Super Cinco, as I like to call it. And now we got who's going to win top.
And Fraz has a new job as a television commentator.
And Fraz is gunning for a job.
But this week we tell everyone how hard it is. Fraz comes in, hits a count, does a throw nicely. Let's never invite him in here again.
Sheesh.
You're not welcome here, Fraz.
Okay, are we doing a hill start?
I think this is a driver intro, like a driver intro to the crowd.
I like it. I like it.
To be honest with you, if we're going to do things differently, why don't we just do a line start from the top of the jump? Let's go.
do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Again, you can take that Yokohama Tire Joker lap on the first lap. Let's start him at the top of the hill. Let's get weird. We're 4 wide, and one of these drivers is going to come out on top. We're just moments away. There's Chris Meeke. He's got the Meeke Monster Mash as he did it, and again, his Irish accent saying he sounds a little bit like Conor McGregor, and that's what his spotter was telling him. Kevin Erickson just so stoic throughout today. He's been just shut down everything yesterday into today. He got second place, and then he wants to get the win. So
he really would, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He's driven so well this weekend, Jared. We've said a lot about how focused he's been since the turn of the year. Like he was really on it in Trois-Rivières, he's really on it here. Pastrana just desperate for the KB livery win.
He's still smiling.
Yeah, man. And think about the fact he's literally just spent 2 hours in the stands signing autographs.
Yeah.
He was in here last night when I left, last person on the floor of this, and he was still up there with 5 or 6 fans, just having a real private chat. The sort of thing that if you're a fan and you come to an event like this, you're like, I can't believe I'm sitting chatting privately with Travis. That's what he's like. He's a great guy.
Absolutely. Very, very cool. We got some track maintenance going down, making sure, we have just a properly groomed track. Like we said, started with ice and then turned into slush. Travis giving the signature thumbs up to the tractor. Grooming the track like a Zamboni machine out here. Looks like they're bringing them up to the standard grid. A little bit of a driver intro for our fans in the building. Bringing them up. Again, 6 laps. You could take that Joker lap, and let's throw it down to Katie Osborne.
Yeah, as we kind of take a look at these 4 drivers who are on the start line ready for this super final. Guys, it's one of those really fascinating things because all 4 of these drivers bring something a little bit different to this race. You of course have the winner of Rally Finland. You have Connor Martell, who has some quick speed. Travis Pastrana, who probably, if I'm not mistaken, is the fan favorite around here today. And Kevin Erickson, guys, as you had mentioned, and Coley, you've talked a lot about this, how he's completely changed his perspective on driving. So it'll be a really fun battle between all 4 of these drivers and see who will come out on top today.
Some great insight there from Katie Osborne throughout the day. Thank you so much, Katie. And we'll have some words, or you will have some words with the winner here at the Nitro Rallycross Stampede, baby. We are getting ready to see how it's going to go down. So the Vermont Sports Car Duo out back. But of course, Chris Meeke, the target on his back.
Mexican wave going on there, I think, in the stands there, Jared.
They're throwing out some gear.
Oh, were they? Okay, fair enough.
Gear.
Canadian wave.
Yeah, the Canadian wave. And here we are. Here are our final 4, the super final. And on that front row, Chris Meeke, Excite Energy Racing. Running that Union Jack flag, but definitely all Irish. Kevin Erickson right next to him, the 23. He's got a new mindset for the year that matches his number. Then on the back row, you got Connor Martell, very fast, wearing those amber lenses. And finally, the man that needs no introduction, the number 199, Travis Pastrana, notably running the throwback livery of Ken Block, KB43, KB Forever. He is running that snow camo livery, which would be so befitting to get that car on top of the podium at a snow event. Let's do it, Travis. Of course, we want to see everybody. It's like children. You can't pick your favorite, but gosh darn it, that'd be great. Coley, without further ado, send it.
Let's go. Final race here at the Nitro Rallycross Stampede. Who's going to take the victory here in Canada? Meeke and Erickson on that front row, waiting for the lights to change. Can they get jumped from the back row by Martell or Pastrana? Oh, a lot of wheel spin for Meeke. It goes backwards immediately. Kevin Erickson bursts into the lead. Meeke loses to Travis Pastrana. He's gone from P1 to P3. Surely he'll go Joker on this first lap. He doesn't, and into the Joker lap goes Connor Martell. So Martell has jokered early. He's going to be the first one to find those super slippery conditions. What a start by Kevin Erickson, and a disaster for Chris Meeke.
Chris Meeke going backwards, but Travis Pastrana reaped the rewards as Kevin Erickson airs it out. Woo, absolutely smoking it off that big hip. Look at him whipping that thing into that hard left-hand turn, and look at the conditions. Look at how much snow is being thrown up. How much the snow is now brown. Look at the ruts.
Yes,
I mean, the attitude of the vehicles, they are being thrown around like monster trucks as opposed to rallycross vehicles.
That's the ruts is exactly what I was going to say, and it's huge in that second corner after the jump. They're turning in, and they're basically getting directed by it. The chicane's been nudged on lap 1, Jared. They're practically flat out into the bank, and they're going to be coming round in front of the grandstand now super fast. Erickson checks up. Look how early he has to brake now. Still pops the jump almost to flat. Pastrana in the background. Is this going to be big? Or he comes up short. Chris Meeke crossed up, keeping it tidy, but now into the rutted section here. Watch on board with Meeke. Look at the inputs. He's having to drive so hard.
Very smooth, though, surprisingly. Connor Martell gets into the wall. That front right corner has seen better days, unfortunately, and it's pointing the wrong direction. I'm assuming he will be a DNF. Don't know where that happened. We'll run it back, and there goes Chris Meeke wide, throwing the snow rooster, almost getting in the barrier. Here comes Travis Pastrana. He goes for the Yokohama Tire Joker lap. Chris Meeke narrowly missing the back end of the 199.
For the first time this year, normally he hits it. Oh, no, we're messing. We're messing. That was harsh, Chris.
Oh, he gets into the wall. You know what?
So
there's a famous saying that Matt Hoffman says, and I'm sure Travis lives this life. You know, if you don't go to the grave with using all your body, all banged up and bruised, you didn't do your body justice. And Travis has broken more bones than bones I actually have. But look at the racecraft of these guys. They're leaving it all out on the track for you, Calgary. Make some noise.
Kevin Erickson leads by 9.2 seconds from Chris Meeke, who hasn't Joker. Pastrana has, but the gap is 26.5. Connor Martell has retired, so you've got your podium finishes in front of you, but Kevin Erickson doing a fantastic job so far. He's got some breathing space. The spotters will be telling him that. On board with Pastrana, Jared, that Joker lap looks so tricky now. We know Martell's been in the wall in there, but the cars are just getting flung around. Very tricky conditions. Again, you're on board with Kevin Erickson, the leader, into the left-hander. Watch now, he wrestles with the car and 1,000 horsepower onto the back straight.
Yeah, look how dug up, and you can see all the brown there. That equates to going through the ice, going through the snow, and then getting to the dirt. How are the spikes holding up? You know, 6 laps. This is the most laps we've seen. We saw it earlier with our Super Cinco 5, right? So now we're seeing it here with our Final 4 and our Super Final.
And Jared, the grip's changing on every lap. Look at the attitude of Pastrana's car there. He had over-rotation into turn 2. Turn 3 was nice. On the handbrake early into turn 4. Hits the bank on the inside because you just can't tell how much grip you've got. Every time you come back to that corner, they're snaking coming onto the back straight even. It's really hard to hang on to these things. The sun and the temperatures come up. The ruts have come up a bit through the long sweeping left-hander. Seeing a Joker predictor for Connor Martell saying he retained 4th. Yes, he definitely will because he stopped 4 laps ago.
Yeah, he's definitely out, so unfortunately. And I mean, just look at the cars. They go over that speed bump, but after that jump, that hard left, it is so rutted. Let's take a look at that, man.
Kevin Erickson's coming around. He's coming around to lap.
Wow.
He's not caught up by that much, surely. You can see just in front.
Yeah.
And obviously we got the Joker. The Joker delta must have gone up massively, Jared. 33, yeah, lap is 38 seconds. He's 5 seconds off the back of Pastrana, who has Jokered.
Yeah.
And that's Kevin's danger map. So this is an absolutely monster lead.
Yeah, Kevin, we talked about redemption. You know, he's come second yesterday, today. You know, I mean, this is him saying, like, all right, I'm coming into Glen Helen. I'm going to be a force to reckon with. He knows he can drive. 23, different mindset. Look at that. There's no traction there. Look how slick it is.
Start of the year, Kevin Erickson came into this series as one of the favourites. He had an accident which saw him taken out for the first 2 events. He's such a great driver. He's become a dad this year as well. He's full focus. He said that he wanted to get back on the top step of the podium this year, and that is what he's going to do here. It's Kevin Erickson who jumps over the finish line to take the Nitro Rallycross Stampede in Calgary. A brilliant drive by him. He has destroyed world-class opposition. Fantastic.
And Chris Meeke with that Joker lap jumps up to second, and Pastrana will be on the podium. Unfortunately, it is the final spot, but again, with that notary, the livery of Ken Block. But congratulations to Kevin Erickson, number 23, Oldsburg's vehicle, gets the victory.
Best ever finish for Chris Meeke in P2. I think Travis would be happy to sign off that brilliant livery with a P3 on the podium. But Kevin Erickson with the win. That extra effort and extra focus has paid off for him. He's going to come back past the crowd here in Calgary. I'm sure they're going to be well impressed with that. Jared, look at the gap, 15.5. Wow. It would have been enough for him to do another Joker nearly if he wanted. Donuts in front to the grandstand. Don't get stuck like Fraser McConnell did. Spin that car around. Here we go. 1,000 horsepower laid down. Very different type of horsepower than we're used to seeing here at the incredible Calgary Stampede venue. Thank you so much for having us. We hope everyone here has had a great time, and you guys watching at home. Chris Meeke, can he get into a donut? Yes, he can.
The powdered donuts by Chris Meeke and our winner, Kevin Erickson. Congratulations. Look at him inside the cockpit. He's absolutely stoked. He's going to do the Meeke Monster Mash. And again, there it is as we see Kevin Erickson, Meeke, and
So
Travis
good.
Pastrana, your 1, 2, and 3 here at the Nitro Rallycross Calgary Stampede. This is how it ends up. Kevin Erickson with a massive gap, 15 seconds above second place Chris Meeke. Travis Pastrana gets third, and Connor Martell with an early exit in the other Vermont sports car. Congratulations to Kevin Erickson, your winner at the Calgary Stampede.
Look at that crowd. Absolutely brilliant. Look at that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Chris Meeke took the team manager and their transmission engineer as well down there. Steph Roseny and Phillipson, you can see climbing out the front. There's Ollie Erickson.
There's
Brilliant
Travis
for
out of the
Kevin.
car.
Puts the cap on. Travis waving to the crowd. The Vermont sports car flags are down there as well. Crowd, look at the crowd streaming out the grandstand to get close to these guys. And this is what's so great about this series is the drivers are so accessible. There's no diva behaviour here. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that. It was close to contact. It was close, but this time they got away with it.
Let's take a look at these 6 laps at Meeke. The worst start he's had all year.
Gutted, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? Travis reaped the rewards of that. Connor Martell, don't know where he got into the contact with the wall, but I'll tell you what, look at that roost.
And that was running out into the snowbank. Here it is. Was that? No, I don't think. I think it's earlier than that, Jared. Where would he bash the front right corner like that? Because the concrete wall was on the front left.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We gotta run it back. But look at the ruts there. You could just see. Get the front tires in one rut. All right, down to Katie Osmond, who's with our winner.
It is an absolute party down here, very Calgary style as well. I'd like to introduce Cindy Adey here, CEO of Tourism Calgary. We're going to white hat you for your win. Do a hat switch. A very well-deserved hat, along with a belt buckle that's inside of her hands. Ooh, he says. Very Calgary style as well. And then, in brotherly fashion, a trophy presentation, a very well-deserved trophy for Kevin Erickson. Kevin, this is one of those that you were proving a little something about yourself, about your driving style, about your team. What statement are you making with this win?
I really wanted to win today. I don't know why it hasn't really, been my year. I haven't really been focused enough, but I promised myself going into this, new year that I'm going to focus, I'm going to be fast. Oliver won last race, me P2. I win now, so just great feelings for the team.
As it relates to the confidence, this is one of those. It's Chris Meeke, it's Travis Pastrana, Connor Martell, those guys that you're going up against in a 4-way battle, if you will. How special was that race to kind of line up next to those guys?
The whole field has soon won a race. This is for sure anyone's win to get. So it's such a fun championship to be a part of. Shame that I missed the part of the season with my accident there, but I'm going to finish it strong.
He's had an accident this year, he's had a daughter born this year, and now he's taken home his first win at Nitro Rallycross.
Trophy handed over from Ollie. Of course, Ollie Erickson won last time out in Trois-Rivières. He hands the trophy over to his brother who wins this time. So both the TQs, Fraser McConnell, both the wins, the Erickson brothers on snow and ice. So great performance and great to see Kevin Erickson so happy to take that win. Donuts as well for the crowd. Not a lot more to ask for, really.
No. All right, so again, we got Chris Meeke there in second and Travis Pastrana. And speaking of Chris Meeke, he is with Katie now.
Here's the thing. Earlier, Chris, you had mentioned that you've had 2 of your best rallycross races in your career. That one, how would you define that?
Yeah, coming from a career in rally where you have a track to yourself. When I get the track to myself, I'm good, but rallycross is not always like that, so hey, I've enjoyed it. Today I started to nail the starts apart from the final. When I took off in the final, the car just sank in the soft snow, so even Connor rammed me from behind. I was sitting there stationary for sort of a second or so. But okay, to finish second, I'm really happy. We had a really poor weekend in Montreal a few weeks back, but our lap times today have been really, I'm so happy. So a big thanks to the Excite team, My Energy. It's been an incredible weekend, and really looking forward now to the double header in Glen Helen.
A lot of fun for Chris Meeke. He says he's happy, which is a good thing for a driver. Congratulations a second. Come on this way. We're going to go. Travis Pastrana here is maybe the hardest person to get a hold of. Let's hear it first for Travis Pastrana. I'm just saying you're the fan favorite around here.
No, I just want to thank everyone for coming out. You guys were awesome, cheering on the whole weekend. I know it was tough conditions. You don't have quite as big of jumpers, wide of a track, but I really, really appreciate you guys coming out in force. And we got that Ken Block Forever car up on the podium at least. I tell you what, these guys have been flying all day, but this is for you, Ken.
For Ken, for Travis Pastrana, it's been a race.
What a lovely tribute.
Yeah.
He knew he wanted a result, and I know he would have wanted a win, but a podium, Jared, is a great way to sign off the livery, and fantastic tribute from a bloke who spent most of the day signing autographs. So we've got another guy who's been signing autographs with us, Connor Martell, mate. What happened?
Do I have to say?
It got slick, man. Those conditions changed.
I know. I was stoked. It actually, I knew going into the Joker, as soon as you go to the tunnel, it's all tarmac.
Yeah.
So it pushes you into the wall. So I went super wide, pulled the handbrake, and when I did, I grabbed traction with my inside tires where no one has gone yet. And I just... it was my own fault. Yeah, I pulled it in and hit those big yellow poles.
Oh, mate, you said Jared's been working for those. We asked you about it yesterday.
My bad.
So it's his
fault. See you guys later.
It's his fault.
Jared's signing off. That's it. He's peaked.
Yeah.
Jared's
so it was a bummer, and instantly the steering was broke. I had no chance, and but those guys drove well. It was cool to sit on the side of the track and see them go. So,
mate, you got out of the Joker at least. So you could have blocked it. I mean, that's the other thing. It's pretty narrow. Man, unlucky. Not the finish you're looking for, but there you go.
No, and this is the farthest I've made it in battle brackets today, so the whole season.
Really?
So it was a good day. I'll take what I can get out of today, and so I'm stoked for doubleheader in Glen Helen.
What a great event, and of course Connor was lucky enough. We want to do all the activities that Connor did earlier this week. Tourism Calgary have been so good to us, but particularly to you guys. What did you think about this event and the whole everything that surrounds it?
I mean, I think hands down what Calgary did for us and to get all these people to this event, like it's the best rallycross race I've ever been to, and the venue is incredible. Look at this paddock, like you don't see this anywhere. So I was stoked to be here. I've been here since last Wednesday. Did some helicopter stuff, some mushing.
We're going to see some in a second.
Yeah, and it was negative 15
Look at
degrees.
this. Tell us about this.
Oh, that was a haunted castle, they said.
Whoa.
In the middle of the Rockies. So beautiful. This is Lake Louise. We went played some hockey. Robin Larson actually lost the puck on like the fourth shot. So.
I saw that.
Yeah.
It looks cold.
Yeah.
It does look cold, but absolutely a beautiful backdrop. That's a postcard. And Calgary, obviously, Tourism Calgary helping us out, saying, hey, get on up here. And you know what? If you're afraid it's going to be a little cold, guess what? We didn't get that cold here. We actually felt pretty comfortable.
Jared, they're both really good at skating. Can you skate like that?
No.
Seriously?
Was that you?
Yeah, no,
I think that was a stunt skater.
No, who's having it?
And you got some boots? Where are your boots at?
So Alberta Boots gave me custom boots, so they're making them from scratch. So I'll get them in 4 weeks. I'll wear them at Glen Helen.
Awesome.
Yes, mate, really?
Yeah, and I got a cowboy hat, so I'm going to be all cowboyed out.
One of our team, Aaron's been wearing his boots, and every night he's just loving the boots. He's been out in the...
Look at those. Those are pretty sweet. No, but I should have got them. It was in the women's section, though.
That's all right.
It is, yeah. It can be whatever you want.
Look at this. Incredible craftsmanship.
Yeah, it was super cool to see how they make it. And there's so many steps. There's like 30 different steps to making a cowboy.
That's beautiful.
Robin's got that down, isn't
he? Yeah.
And you said this was the coldest experience you had.
Yeah, -15 Fahrenheit, which is like, I think, around -30 Celsius. So what a blast, though. I mean, my eyelashes were frozen shut. I couldn't see. The dogs just kind of took me for a ride.
Wow. What a great experience. So thank you to Tourism Calgary, and thank you to all the fans. What great fans, like Travis said, just, I mean, raging. They're loud out there. We're in the paddock. Just a really good footprint of an event. If we don't come back here next year, I'm going to be absolutely bummed and surprised at the same time.
I mean, me and Travis were over here for like an hour and a half after the race ended, and people were just in line forever. It was awesome.
Yep. All right. Let's take a look. This is the My Energy Best Pass, and it's Travis Pastrana qualifying against Fraser McConnell. So Travis gets the My Energy Best Pass. Let's take a look at it. Do you think this is this deserving? Boom, right there.
I'd say it's pretty good.
you and me.
Me and Meeke were way closer, but yeah.
We've asked Connor Martell, the wrong person to ask. But
the My Energy sketchiest pass goes to Connor Martell. And
no, that was good, though. That was a good race.
All right, here's the A-Shock Big Air moment. Taking a look at that. And this is Kevin Erickson in the final. He boosts this thing, doesn't compact the suspension, but look at that, riding shotgun in there. You guys make it look easy, and it was difficult from yesterday to today when that chicane was removed on that bank, because you could really overcook it and cause some damage.
Absolutely. And you know, these cars are set up so well that you can overjump this thing, and it handles it very well. Except Meeke, if you notice, the car gets kicked when you go over the jump, because you're on the brake so hard and it's fighting for grip and you're in these ruts. And Meeke earlier, I think it was the battle bracket, and he landed, I mean, 45 degrees sideways and saved it with a broken shock, and then went and won the race.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the cars are incredible.
Yeah.
Cool. What a great testimonial to the build and the whole FC1X and Olsbergs and everybody. So a great testimonial to obviously the talent behind the wheel. And let's take a look back at some of the best moments of the day. The chicane, the Joker lap. You know, I like the modification. You know, we as announcers, we like to have kind of the same kind of format, but change and saying, hey, you could take the Joker lap on the first one, change your chicane a little bit. It just, I don't know, does it even the playing field, or does it just speak to kind of the talent, or what do you think?
No, it changes everything up. I mean, we're used to, okay, you can't take it on the first lap, and then before we go out, they're like, oh, now you can. So everyone's scattering to find what they can do to get the best lap. And we think on paper it was best to take a first lap, on paper. But obviously that's not how it goes in a race. And no, it definitely brings a whole new game to the race, and everyone did exactly what they needed to do.
And there it is, going into the longest Yokohama Tire Joker lap we've seen all season. It will be the longest overall, because we culminate the season in Glen Helen, at Glen Helen. So as overall, just a darn good time.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely brilliant weekend, I think, here up in Calgary at the Nitro Rallycross Stampede. We found a great new venue. I suspect this weekend, Jared, we found some new fans. Yeah, Tommy was up in the crowd yesterday, and people, they don't know the drivers, they don't know this sport, and the fact they've come and discovered it, that's what we need, because this is one of the greatest motorsports in the world. It needs to grow, and bringing it in front of a new crowd, running cars up walls, kicking up ice and stuff, doing big jumps. Mega.
Yeah,
I'm calling it. It's mega.
It's mega, and well said. Just putting the exclamation point on it. Andrew Coley, Mr. Rallycross, doing such a great job, and
Thanks,
Katie
man.
Osborne,
It's a pleasure.
and of course Street Bike Tommy and Connor Martell. Well, guess what? The 22/23 season culminates back in California. I get to drive there. I get to sleep in my own bed. But guess what? It is going to be a doubleheader to crown a Nitro Rallycross champion. Who will it be? We'll find out. The doubleheader, St. Patrick's Day weekend. We're going to party. Thank you so much on behalf of the whole team. Don't know where Tommy's at right now. He's probably up grabbing some food. Thank you so much. We'll see you online, and we'll see you on another time. We'll see you at Glen Helen. Send it! Nitro Rallycross.